29,230. NASDAQ up 398 at 24,836. And the S&P 500 up 56 at 7,165. Now let's check in with Paul for KTRS Sports and Traffic.
Steve, the Cardinals are back for a quick 3-game homestand with the Seattle Mariners tonight. Andre Palante gets the ball for the Birds. George Kirby toes the rubber for Seattle. And CBC and Notre Dame product Jeremiah Love was the 3rd overall pick in last night's NFL draft, going to the Arizona Cardinals. Love rushed for 1,372 yards and 18 touchdowns last season, finishing 3rd in the Heisman Trophy vote. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk. And now on to traffic. A stalled vehicle on 55 North before Virginia is blocking the 2 right lanes and causing a backup to Germania. 64 East is running slow from 255 to Illinois 157. 64 West bogs down in front of Forest Park and in Lake St. Louis. And the signals are on red flash at the 44 East exit to Watson. This traffic report is brought to you by Brown & Brown Attorneys at Law. Have you been hurt in a crash or on the job? Call Brown & Brown now for a free consultation. 314-333-3333. That's 314 all threes. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our forecast calls for a 20% chance of rain continuing through the day, mostly cloudy tonight, with an overnight low in the mid-50s, sunny tomorrow with a high near 78. At 3:07, mostly cloudy, 72 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
The Big 550 KTRS wants to celebrate a few people that have made an impact in St. Louis media.
From radio, print, advertising, PR to television.
We congratulate our very own Frank Cusimano as an inductee to the St. Louis Media History Hall of Fame. Along with KTRS contributors Kent Earhart, John Perkborn, and Alvin Reed, and a longtime friend of the Big 550, Dan Farrell with the St. Louis Cardinals. Congrats to everyone from the Big 550 KTRS. The reason we are the talk of St. Louis.
Can I get serious for a moment? Something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is my front yard and taking care of your front yard. Because when you drive by someone's house and it's full of weeds, you think to yourself, oh man, it's very, very simple. You know how much I love to pretend to be a yard dork. You know what I use? Fertilome. I go to fertilome.com and I type in my zip code, and a whole host of local independent lawn and garden dealers show up. I buy the crabgrass preventer plus lawn food. It's the spring application. I get it down on my yard as soon as possible, and that greens up my yard and keeps the weeds away. So it makes me look like I know what I'm doing. But really, all I'm doing is getting Fertilome and putting it on my front yard. And that will take care of my yard for many, many, many weeks, and it go a long way to having the greenest yard in the block. So this spring, you want to green up your yard and get rid of the weeds? It all starts at Fertilome or fertilome.com.
We made it through another work week, a fairly beautiful one, minus a little rain this morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Heidi Glaus here with Josh Gilbert, Bob Ramsey, and we've got a lot to get to. First up, we're going to talk to Chanda Prescod-Weinstein. She is a physicist and author of The Edge of Space-Time. She is going to be at the Clark Family Branch tonight for a discussion, but first she's swinging by here to make us all feel less than. My first question for her is, does she always feel like the smartest person in the room? You have to when you're a physicist, don't you?
But she's real cool, and the book is here. What's the full title?
Well, she can be cool and still be the smartest person in the room.
The Edge of Space-Time, Particles, Poetry, and the Cosmic Dream Boogie.
Yeah.
I think it makes quantum theoretical physics a bit more
Appetizing?
Yes.
Okay, well, we'll talk to her coming up. So we're all going to feel a little smarter after that conversation. Then at 3:50, we're going to talk to the head football coach at CBC High School. CBC's Jeremiah Love went number 3 overall at last night's NFL draft, which is just astonishing.
Now, you've got inside information. Coach Pingle,
Yes.
his coach, is your brother-in-law.
He is married to my sister.
He's going to join us on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Did he go where they thought he was going to go?
We'll ask Scott.
Okay.
As far as that goes.
Was
but
there a watch party? Did he?
There was a watch party at CBC. They showed it on the Today Show this morning.
Oh, they did?
Was Love
Yeah.
in New York, though?
What?
Or
No,
was
he
Love in
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, I mean?
Yes, he was in Pittsburgh, and it was. His parents are fantastic. As a matter of fact, my sister sent me I think it was on social media, and it is so cool. The St. Louis Police Officer Association said congratulations to Jeremiah Love on being selected 3rd overall. His parents, Jason and Latoya, both retired sergeants from the St. Louis Metro PD, dedicated their lives not only to serving the community, but to raising a young man who could rise to this level. The same values that make great officers, integrity, resilience, and accountability, are the same values that build great leaders, which is really cool.
That's so cool. But look at this. Fernando Mendoza, quarterback for the national championship Indiana Hoosiers, number 1 overall. You've got Carnell Tate from the Buckeyes. He's a receiver going to the Titans. Jeremiah Love is favored to be the rookie of the year amongst the class, though.
Well, and last night, a couple of commentators said that Jeremiah was probably the best football player in the entire draft, which is just crazy.
And one of the ways you measure it is how much he's getting paid. And
$50 million.
Oh, no.
For a rookie and a running back. That's
Unheard of.
Unheard of.
Yeah, when you look at the rest of it. But I think, as Scott will tell you, he's a really good guy on top of all those other things. So we'll have that conversation coming up. I'm just kind of happy that I can say that I saw him play when he was in high school.
There you go.
Several times, I mean, you knew you were watching something special.
I know him.
Yeah.
I know him.
We watched him run a lot. In the 4 o'clock, Mike Ward will join us, and we're going to tell you how to make your cocktails even easier. All you have to do is pop a top. So Mike Ward will be joining us to tell us about a new canned cocktail that is on store shelves. We'll also talk to the CEO of Impact Fisheries. It's in Piedmont, Missouri, but you probably saw this story that state and officials were trying to kind of, I guess, corral the Asian carp at Creve Coeur Lake, and we're coming up empty-handed. But why do they need to, kind of corral these Asian carp? What are they good for? Can they be used for other things? So we'll talk to Tim Simons about that. We'll check in with Alex Stone. This is a story right up Josh's alley, and you've been saying this for a while, because charges are against a commander for making money off of the Maduro rating. Is it Kalshi where people could go and bet? It's one of those.
Kalshi, it's Polymarket.
Yeah.
DraftKings now has prediction markets and everything. But the Kalshi and the Polymarkets, they're not regulated like the others are.
Now a commander is facing charges, so we'll get that story. And then in the 5 o'clock, we're going to be joined by 2 of the stars of Beetlejuice. We all know the movie. It's been a long time. 1988.
Don't say it 2 more times.
Oh, I won't.
Right, that could be a
It's
problem.
Friday. I don't want to deal with that.
We won't.
It's funny. I didn't know they were coming in, and I watched about 30 minutes of it. It was just flipping around. It was on.
Last night?
Yeah. Isn't that
my
weird?
gosh, so crazy. I haven't seen it in ages, but these 2 are going to join us and tell us about Beetlejuice, the musical, and why you want to go see it this weekend. It's only in town tonight through Sunday. We've got some entertainment news, and then we'll wrap this show up with some randoms. I saw this, and it was kind of like one of those Josh moments. I think it happened probably 3 years ago.
Are we calling these Josh moments now? Mm-hmm. Where you realize something that you probably should have known?
Yes, that's
years
exactly
ago?
what that is. You put it together quickly.
Okay. Okay.
So, I realized after years of traveling that you probably shouldn't put your suitcase on your bed to pack it, because the suitcase has been thrown around
The wheels.
everywhere. The wheels,
Covered in
if you're
literal.
checking your luggage, how it's been thrown all over the place. Well, here's another one. experts are warning people to stop putting your package that has been delivered through Amazon or Target or Walmart, wherever you get your packages, on the kitchen table. It's because cardboard is basically just a hotel for insects and bugs. And if you can track in anything from ants and beetles to even cockroaches. So when you have that package, maybe don't sit it on the kitchen table.
So I think they kind of told us this during COVID, right? They said when the mail comes in,
we were supposed to wipe it down.
Wipe the mail down.
That was one of those things because of we didn't know exactly how COVID was transmitted, and you were supposed to wipe it, but put it on the counter is a whole different. They say open packages somewhere you clean regularly, break down the boxes quickly, keep them away from where you eat.
We'll be fine. That's a little overreaction.
You think?
We'll be fine.
I forget who I was talking to, but they said, do not keep cardboard in your house. Do not put cardboard anywhere. Do not store it. Throw it away. Cockroaches love
cardboard. They love cardboard. Yeah.
Love. They absolutely. I don't know what they do. They eat it? Do they just bathe in it? I don't know what. But they said we don't keep cardboard in our house because it's roach motel.
Do you?
Even the dust.
Do you have an exterminator?
I do. Danny the bug guy.
Well, you're fine then. Now, do you want to keep bringing cardboard in like you're in a warehouse? No, I wouldn't suggest that.
Yeah.
If you got an exterminator, he's fine. Who's your guy, Danny?
Yeah, Danny.
Danny's
the bug
great.
So
Danny's fine.
They said again, I forget who I was talking to, but they said we don't put it on our counters because even the dust from the cardboard sitting there will attract a cockroach or two.
Except in your house because they can't get in.
Danny the bug guy.
Yeah. Somebody on the text line said, same with your purse. Don't put it on counters or the kitchen tables. Think of where you've put your purse. And Kelly Jackson just texted me and said, girl, I put nothing on my kitchen table, not even my purse. And I'm like, I know. Because I have tried to put a purse on her kitchen table and about got knocked out.
Since Kelly's listening, I came in one time. I was working for McGraw. We bought a bunch of donuts and bagels from Bread Company, and I went to go put it on this table, but Kelly's purse was there. So I picked it up, and I set it on the ground.
No.
She got up and, as polite as Kelly Jackson is, and said, I'll take that. And then you told me, oh, Kelly doesn't put her purse on the floor.
No, don't put her purse on the floor.
Where was the building?
It was right here.
Oh, in here. Oh, in here? No, I wouldn't do it in here. No, that's way different from your house.
Yeah.
No, I agree with Kelly.
Yeah. No, she was so nice about it, but Heidi clued me in. Do not put Kelly's purse on the floor.
But you're on the germ watch list now.
Yeah.
Here's something that caught my attention and, of course, made me feel a little older. 10 things from the 2000s. Not even the 1990s.
That was yesterday.
It was, but we're 26 years ago.
It can't be. It can't be.
Are now collectible. Okay? So this is kind of crazy. Let's start with, of course, VHS tapes, which I think Max has several of, and same with DVDs.
No. Get those out of your house.
Well, when the grid goes down, you still have your generator. You can watch your DVDs.
Okay, so the grid's going down. I don't know who's bombing us at this point, but you're,
I got to watch a movie.
Yeah.
Let's pop in a movie.
Yes.
Lego sets. If you have, a Lego set
we sold all those. We sold them off.
Okay.
No, you should have kept them.
Yeah.
Well, we made a pretty good penny.
Selling them.
You put them in a big bin and take them, and they do it by the pound, if I recall. My wife did
I think so, yeah.
Isn't there a store in Kirkwood that it's like a loose Lego store? You can go in and say, hey, I need a red 3-piece.
I don't know. That would make sense.
They'll find it for you.
Yeah. Pokemon cards, that one is, if you have that collection around.
I've been meaning to bring this up. This Pokemon card thing.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it, but I'm on vacation down in Gulf Shores. I'm at the Target. I'm returning something.
They've made a comeback.
Both people in front of me, I'm eavesdropping. We're asking the customer service counter when the new Pokemon card shipments come in. And then the lady does it, and then the guy behind her goes, did I hear that right? Was it Friday? And she said, yes, and he left too. So it's a thing.
Well, it was a thing in 96, 97 because it was one of the first kind of stories I did, maybe 98, when everybody was going crazy and all the different Pokemon cards and how you would, and then there was Pokemon Go. Do you remember that whole thing?
Yeah.
But anyway, they're making a comeback. First editions of the original run of Harry Potter books.
Oh, the books.
Oh, we may have some of those at home.
The real money is in the mint condition copies, but any original is cool.
We might have those.
Gaming consoles like a Nintendo 64, especially again if it's in pristine condition. iPods.
I've sold the gaming consoles, and they've come back to me and said we can't take this because it's not clean enough.
Yeah.
You know, you leave these things in your basement, and
The dust and
It's not
grime.
clean enough.
and the bugs and all that stuff.
Well, don't you use
Well,
that little
get a
air
wipe.
compressor and
Yeah.
wipe? Yeah. I mean, you clean it off before you drop it off.
No, I just put it in a bin.
No.
I just got this information from the boss, my wife.
Mark Dorsey.
No, my wife. He's the other boss. I've got like 10 bosses. You're right. They've got, or which one of you said the Lego store?
Yeah, and
Is in Kirkwood. It's called Minifig.
That's somebody just texted that exact thing.
MINIFIG, Minifig, in Kirkwood. She said I was right. They paid by the pound. We made about $300.
Whoa. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, couple more. I mentioned iPods.
Yes.
Kids these days think old iPods are really hip. Then you got iPhones. They can be really valuable if they're still sealed, which would be strange to have a phone that you never opened. But
that's collectibles.
Yes.
An old iPhone at this point is a brick. I've got old iPads that I can't do
no,
anything
I do
with.
too. And then number one on this list, tour merchandise. If you have a T-shirt, a tour jacket, anything from bands and artists from 2000 might actually be worth a little something.
I think I have a Fleetwood Mac T-shirt from the 2000s.
Go
Yeah.
sell it.
That's pretty cool. And going back to the things that we put on the table, somebody said, I found my 18-year-old volleyball shoe insert on the kitchen island, parentheses, gag. And Kelly Jackson said, now you know, Josh.
I know. I will never do it again, Kelly. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. So interesting. Well, you guys know what we have coming up on this Friday edition.
Can I admit something?
Yeah.
I am the 18-year-old volleyball shoe insert guy.
What?
I noticed I did this the other day. I went and power washed the back patio and sprayed up so much sand and gunk all over my shoes and legs.
No.
So I washed everything.
Okay.
But before I put them in the washing machine, I took them out and I set them on the
No.
counter.
What is wrong with you?
Now, I was just being germs aren't bad guy a few minutes ago, but that's beyond the pale.
It wasn't the table. It was just
The counter where you also
and then
prep food.
You prep your food,
I
or
wiped it down.
Oh,
afterward.
see, these are
I
things you should
realized-
not admit.
I know.
That was really ridiculous.
I'm the 18-year-old volleyball insert guy.
Oh, you're
Josh, you're our Josh.
You know what? We could say a lot of you're that guy.
Don't eat at my house.
Julius Krasanik here, celebrating 54 years in this industry. My family owns Wholesale Siding Depot. That's WSDepot.com. Our seasoned customer service group has over 200 years of combined siding, window, and door experience. My grandson Elijah says,
Are you kidding me?
tired of companies that like to apply pressure to sell you high-priced fiberglass or wood windows? We offer the Anderson Fibrex family of windows in styles and colors, including black, at wholesale prices. What are you waiting for? We sell truckloads of siding, windows, and doors from CertainTeed, Anderson, Viwinco, Provia, and other major brands, all at wholesale prices, while offering a free contractor referral service for your expert installation needs. Keep it local, family, and professional. Visit WSDepot.com. That's WSDepot.com.
Don't miss a baseball showdown at Busch Stadium when Shohei Ohtani and the LA Dodgers roll into the Lou, May 1st through the 3rd. Kick off the weekend with Friday Night Live and a must-have short-sleeve hoodie giveaway. Saturday brings a Mason Wynn bobblehead celebrating his Gold Glove Award. Then Sunday features a sleek Blade collar shirt giveaway. Big names, big matchups, and big giveaways all weekend long. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotion.
This is Mason Wynn. Get your tickets at Cardinals.com.
The 1-2, and that's grounded up the middle. Diving play, Mason Wynn to his feet. He throws, he got him!
What's up, Cardinals fans? Mason Wynn here. On Saturday, May 2nd, when we face the Dodgers, you can take home the Mason Wynn Gold Glove bobblehead presented by the Shane Company. It's got my chain, my first gold glove, my whole look, just how I rock it. Plus, a few rare all-gold baubles will be randomly mixed in for 500 lucky fans. This is one you won't want to miss. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor with Capital Advisory Group. Now, more than ever, having a tax strategy to protect and grow your wealth is an absolute must. Every Saturday, Josh Gilbert and I will discuss how you can keep what's yours, because the most important part of your wealth plan is your tax plan. That's Keep What's Yours this Saturday afternoon.
Capital Advisory Group presents Keep What's Yours with Jeff Zufall and Josh Gilbert this Saturday afternoon at 3 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Attention KTRS listeners, Appliance Discounters has a deal for you. Shop now and receive an instant 5% rebate off your next appliance purchase. 5% instant savings off their already low prices. And you can receive other factory rebates, some up to $1,500 direct from the manufacturer. Huge savings, locally owned, next day delivery, 18 months interest-free financing. Appliance Discounters with 6 area locations or online at theappliancediscounters.com.
Bope Chapel in Kirkwood has been providing compassionate and professional funeral and cremation services to the St. Louis community for over 114 years. Bope Chapel continues to strive to bring you, their friends, families, and neighbors, the best in comfort and support. Whether it's large services with state-of-the-art technology or small gatherings, the kind and caring family at Bope Chapel will help care for your family in your time of need. For more information, go to bopechapel.com.
John Londoff Jr. here, president of Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. On behalf of myself and the entire team here at Londoff Auto Group, we want to congratulate the Big 550 KTRS on 30 years of being the talk of St. Louis. Congratulations on 30 years from your friends at the Johnny Londoff Auto Group.
My name's Dominic Fadine. I'm calling from Massa's Italian Restaurant out here in St. Charles, and we've been a proud partner of KTRS throughout the years. We'd like to congratulate everyone at the Big 550 on their 30th anniversary. And here's to many more great years ahead.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show
With Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey.
on the Big 550 KTRS.
It is 3:29. Time to get a check of traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky.
Heidi, the roads are looking good right now. Not much happening out there. 64 West is crowded in Lake St. Louis. 64 East is running at about 40 miles per hour from 255 to Illinois 157. And the signals are on red flash at the 44 East exit to Watson. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Now it's time for the KTRS Book Club.
It's called reading. Top to bottom, left to right. Group words together as a sentence.
Powered each week by the St. Louis County Library on the Big 550.
Well, you see, I spell them like this sounds,
KTRS.
Well, tonight, St. Louis County Library Foundation's favorite author series and Left Bank Books are hosting award-winning physicist and author Chanda Prescod-Weinstein to discuss her new book, The Edge of Space-Time. But before she takes the stage there, she is in studio with us. Thanks for making time for us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, do you always feel like the smartest person in the room?
Never.
Oh, stop it.
That's really, I don't go in with that mindset. I think everybody's bringing something to the table. I'm bringing my own brand of nerd to the table.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's so interesting because in this book, you argue physics is an essential way for everyone to look at the universe. But I feel so dumb when it comes to even the basics of physics. Where do we start?
I mean, I think you start with your curiosity. So what are the questions that you have? I think every community has an interest in the night sky and looking up and thinking about how things move. It's actually pretty strange that anything in the universe happens.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah, and I wanted to book this not only because you're an accomplished author, you're coming to the library, but the name of the book, where is it?
The Edge of Space-Time, Particles, Poetry, and the Cosmic Dream Boogie.
Boogie. The cover of the book looks really cool. I just noticed your earrings match the cover of your book. You got fun hair. You seem really cool. And you came in and you said, my last name rhymes with Einstein. Weinstein, Einstein. You are the furthest cry from Albert Einstein and the stodgy old physics professors that we have in our mind when we think about this.
Pocket protectors. And that sort of
if we're
thing.
going to talk to anybody about black holes, it's going to be this person.
Well, thank you. I did try dressing up so I wouldn't look like the frumpy old professor for you all.
But what is it? How can you make stuff like this accessible? You know, you watch a documentary, you see this, you try to figure out what a black hole is, and then your brain starts to melt.
Yeah, I think a lot of the work that we have to do in science communication in particular is try and connect with the audience and figure out how we start with what the audience feels comfortable with and what the audience thinks they know and may in fact know very well, and take them to the edge of that knowledge and then stretch it a little bit. And so a lot of the work that we do is thinking with metaphor. So starting with what's familiar. And I think that that's part of the power of metaphor is you start with what's familiar to people. Like I use baseball as an example quite a bit in the book because I'm a third generation Dodgers fan.
Hey, not a bad team to root for.
Not right now. Let's go. 3-peat. Yeah. That's what I'm looking for.
They're coming to town, but next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I know. We just looked at the schedule. I'm so disappointed.
Yeah. You could still go cheer for our Cardinals.
Yeah.
And
no,
so,
she won't. No, she's not saying a word.
Yeah, she
and
sure
so before we came on the air, you and I were talking about physics, and first thing that came to mind is the baseball and spin rate and what you can do, and all those kinds of things are physics.
So this is a really great example. In the book, I talk about a quantum concept called spin, where particles have this fundamental property that we call spin. And it's not physically spinning the way that, like, if someone throws a curveball or something like that. So when you hear the word spin, you think, okay, it's got some rotation on it. It's like Alyssa Liu at the Olympics, something like that. And part of what's really fantastic and fun about physics is that you get into this world where mathematically speaking, on paper, something looks like it's behaving like it's rotating, but in practice, it's not actually spinning in any sense of what's familiar to us. Right, so you guys are looking at me like that's weird.
Yeah.
Right, okay, well, welcome to physics. It's just weird. It doesn't get less weird. It doesn't get more comfortable. You get more used to it being weird. And it's a great reminder that the universe is just full of mystery. And I think it's a good example of why we should always expect surprises, as Octavia Butler said.
So do we ever understand the spin? Do we ever understand what's going on, or we're always just mesmerized by physics?
You know, I think that depends on point of view, right? So I think from my point of view, I have somewhat good intuition for spin because I teach it, right? And I know the experiments and I know the impact that it has. So if you're listening and you ever suffered through high school chemistry the way that I did, I got a C in my first semester of high school chemistry.
No way.
I did.
There's hope for us all.
And I really struggled with the electrons and the orbitals, like where you're supposed to put the electrons, and there are these different energy levels. So that's actually completely to do with this idea of spin and quantum physics. I personally think if I learned the quantum way, I might have been better at chemistry the first time around. But it's all a matter of perspective, right? Like from the point of view of my high school, chemistry was supposed to be easier, but I found it much easier to understand when I got to physics.
When I look at something like the Eagle Nebula, and it's a picture of, it looks like this huge gas cloud with all these stars and everything. And then they say, oh, by the way, this has been colorized. They're showing every wave of light in this picture. If you actually saw it with your naked eye, you wouldn't see anything. And that bothers me. You look at a black hole and you say, well, we can't see anything, but the way everything else is, acting around it, we know it's there. And I'm such a visual guy that, you physics people, you're like, well, you can't see it. You just got to trust me that it's there.
Well, the thing is, so I should say with the Eagle Nebula, it does radiate in the optical. So we can actually point a telescope at it and get light from it and see it. It is the case that we can then point like an X-ray telescope and an infrared telescope and a gamma ray telescope.
And that's when we get all the colors and everything.
And then we see a lot more light than what's in the optical. So the optical, I would say, is like the rainbow colors that you're used to seeing, like when it rains and you have sunlight come through it. Those are the colors that we know. It is the case that we have these very talented people who, at NASA in particular, who do outreach when they're not being fired, who add false colors. And so to help you see those features that wouldn't be visible to us, I think it's actually really cool that really what we're doing is illuminating parts of the universe that otherwise wouldn't be visible. So I don't think that there's necessarily any reason to panic that there's stuff out there that you can't see. It's much more that there is just a lot more universe that we have built really cool instruments so that we can see it.
Yeah.
So we've been playing nice, but now it's time to roll up the sleeves and get after it.
Are you going to ask time travel?
You can't travel through time.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Big technicality here.
Okay.
Which is that we are currently traveling through time, but we are only going forward.
Right.
Got you.
Okay. I can concede that.
Okay.
Can we ever go backwards like Marty McFly?
I am really not a big fan of time travel storylines.
Okay, good.
I will say.
I love them, but I know they're not real.
It is not for me. Occasionally I see it well done. Like I think in Star Trek First Contact, which was the second film from the Next Generation cast, I actually think that was a really good time travel storyline.
Okay.
I also think Star Trek Discovery Season 2 had a decent time travel storyline. I will say I've watched that season enough times that I know where all the plot holes are in it.
That's so funny.
It's clear that the writer's room made some decisions in the second half of the season that they had not properly set up for in the first half. I've gone back and tried to map all the things out, and there are a couple of holes.
There's a TV show from the 60s when I was a little kid that I loved. It got me hooked on time travel story. It's called The Time Tunnel. Have you ever seen it or heard of it?
No.
You'd probably have to turn it off. It's probably so dumb. But we're so intrigued with the past and the future rather than where we are now. It makes it fascinating.
Okay, what about Planet of the Apes? We go fast through space.
Oh, man, I loved the first movie.
Oh, it scared me to
It
death.
scared the masks scare Heidi.
I couldn't handle it.
I love it.
Is it possible to go so fast that we slow down, but the rest of the universe ages accordingly, and when we come back, the world is repopulated by apes?
I mean,
leave out the apes part.
You skip the apes part.
It is, I guess, on paper possible that, you can experience time dilation. So this is a special relativity effect where clocks are ticking slower relative to each other because of the speed that someone is going. In practice, the amount of energy that would have been required to get Charlton Heston's character up to that speed is just like completely implausible.
Well, I always say this about black holes. They're like, oh, you don't know what's on the other side of a black hole. My body is very squishy. And if I came anywhere near a black hole, I would be ripped to shreds.
I mean, we all would be.
Do you get ripped to shreds or do you implode like going under the sea?
I mean, really, when you get close, there is such strong, so you should think about like tidals, like the tides with the ocean. So think of like a very extreme version of that, where instead of the moon just pulling a little bit on the ocean and having some bulging, you suddenly have let's say your feet are closer to the event horizon of the black hole, so the edge of the black hole. Your feet are going to feel that way more strongly than your head. It's going to be very dramatic because like even a little bit of change in distance at that point. I mean, At that point, you're already dead, so you're not really going to feel it. I'm such a killjoy.
Who knows if my molecules end up on the other side? I'm gone. You know, I'm in a billion different pieces.
You have experienced an energetic transformation.
Oh my gosh.
I love that.
We are
That's
talking
great.
to award-winning physicist and author Chanda Prescod-Weinstein, and she's in town to discuss her book, The Edge of Space-Time, Particles, Poetry, and the Cosmic Dream Boogie, tonight at the Clark Family Branch. What is the Cosmic Dream Boogie?
So this line, the Dream Boogie, originates from a Langston Hughes poem, which I understand is someone who would be considered of local relevance.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot in Langston Hughes lines, and he has this book-length poem called Montage of a Dream Deferred, and the first section of that poem is called Dream Boogie. And in it, he has these lines where he says, "Good morning, Daddy, ain't you heard the boogie-woogie rumble of a dream deferred?" And in it, he's reflecting on the Black American experience of oppression, but also the way that blues and the beauty of blues and Black culture emerges despite the experiences with oppression. And so he's saying the boogie-woogie rumble. So the boogie-woogie is the blues, but also the rumble, so the challenge, the fight. And then he says of a dream deferred, so it's emerging out of all of that together. And so what I wanted to say to people is right now we're in what many feel is a politically difficult moment, and a lot of people are scared for the future. And I think that being in touch with cosmic science is a way of being in that cosmic dream boogie, of looking forward, of remembering, as my mom, Margaret Prescott, has said to me, the universe is bigger than the bad things that are happening to us. And you choose your relationship with the cosmos. There's no politician that can get in the way between you and that relationship if you decide to have it. And I think that that's a really important message right now.
I think it's a great one.
So why write the book? This is really heady stuff. It's not necessary for everyone. You say it is. But what's in the book that I, just some guy in St. Louis, need to know about the universe?
You know, I really think being curious about the cosmos, being curious about the universe is our ancestral inheritance. Every community throughout history has had star stories. This is what our species does. And the Jamaican and American philosopher Sylvia Wynter says that we are a storytelling species. So she likes to call us Homo narrans. So she says that we are not just biological, but we are storytelling. And in the process of that storytelling, we shape ourselves biologically and vice versa. And so I heard this and I thought, well, how does this apply to what I do? Because that's always the question that I ask. And I thought, well, what would it mean for us to not be in touch with those star stories? What would it mean for us spiritually and psychologically to no longer have that community relationship with each other through curiosity? And so the book emerges somewhat from thinking through this problem of wanting to return to people and say, these are your stories too. Your tax dollars pay for people like me to do this kind of research. And you want to live in a democracy where there is some group of people that are asking and trying to answer these questions. Right. It doesn't have to be everybody, but this is actually an important part of the democratic process that we maintain this element of our humanity. And so that was part of the argument I wanted to make. And I didn't want to, a lot of my colleagues think, oh, we should just go lobby Congress. And I was like, I want to take the story and why what we do matters to the people. And so that's
lobby
really...
the people.
Yes. The story belongs to the people. We're here because the people support us in doing it. And so that needs to be a trade that we bring that story back to them.
Is the center of the Milky Way a black hole?
There is. Sag A star is at the center of the Milky Way, and we have observed the event horizon of it.
What's going to happen to us in 1 trillion years, Earth?
Well, so I don't want to freak anybody out. I just want to remind everyone that 5 billion is a very big number. The sun's only got about 5 billion years left.
Oh, the sun
expands, right?
And then, yes, it's going to start to expand. It's going to throw off its layers. If you want to get some sense of what this would be like if it happened right now, and I need to repeat again, it will not happen right now. 5 billion years is a really long time. There's a great pair of Chinese movies called Wandering Earth and Wandering Earth 2. I am obsessed with Wandering Earth 2, and it's basically the premise of the films is that the sun, for whatever reason, starts this expansion early.
Now.
And so this has big impact on the Earth, and in that series, the solution to the problem is they turn the Earth into basically a spaceship. I mean, it already is a spaceship. We're just flying through space, right?
Yeah.
But usually we're in this kind of like very predictable orbit around the sun. So what they do is they turn the Earth into a spaceship that leaves the orbit, and they start pulling Earth out of the solar system. Right. To go find it. So they have a plan. There's another star that they're taking the Earth to. And it's a really fascinating set of stories. It's based on a couple of short stories by Liu Shuxian, who is also the author of The Three-Body Problem, which was adapted for Netflix into a show.
That's amazing.
By the time Earth gets close enough to the event horizon in the center of the Milky Way, we'll already be gone. The sun will have blown us up.
And by then, I actually haven't done this calculation, but I think by then we will have had, I say we won't be here. The Milky Way will have had a very interesting experience with the Andromeda galaxy.
Uh-oh.
Are they colliding?
So I was trying to avoid that word collision, right? Because when you think about a collision, you think about like somebody at home plate trying to tag someone out, right? But really, it should maybe be more thought of as like an entanglement and dance. Because
now you sound like Gwyneth Paltrow.
Because of all the
or Jada Pinkett Smith, I guess.
All the different gravitational pulls make it like a dance, right?
Right. So you're basically going to have the dark matter halo that surrounds Andromeda. So most of the matter in the galaxies is something we call dark matter. It's completely invisible. The stuff that we can see is actually a small fraction of what's out there. So you're going to have these two bubbles are going to start interacting gravitationally, and then all the stars are going to start pulling on each other. And so you're just going to have this reconfiguration.
Or a cosmic boogie.
A cosmic boogie, exactly. Think about Andromeda and the Milky Way doing the electric slide together.
Oh, now that's good.
Yes.
Well, you guys can hear more from Chanda tonight at 7 at the Clark Family Branch on South Lindbergh. Her book, The Edge of Space-Time, Particles, Poetry, and the Cosmic Dream Boogie will be available for purchase there and wherever books are sold. Thank you so much for helping us not feel as stupid as we are.
Thank you for having me.
For all of your travel needs, you go to the best travel agency in the world. Granted, I'm a little biased. Altair Travel and Cruises. They'll take you wherever you want to go in style. They'll handle all the details. You handle all the fun. Don't go to the Googles. Don't make that mistake. It all starts at Altair Travel and Cruises on Brentwood Boulevard, 314-968-9600. Anywhere you want to go, let Altair Travel take you. AltairTravel.com.
Do you have the option to control your cash flow and wealth? Are you getting a return on your greatest asset, your lifetime and potential generational income? Overcome these critical financial planning challenges by discovering the Control Option Mindset featuring the Lifetime and Generational Income Maximizer. Call Mark Benson and his team at the Control Option at 314-432-9540 or online at thecontroloptionmindset.com.
How's your deck holding up? Time for a new one? Time to redo the one you're sitting on? It's time to call Outdoor Living. Outdoor Living last summer helped me with my deck, and I cannot tell you how thrilled I am. Outdoor Living Inc. not only showed me all the different options, whether it's PVC, composite, vinyl wrapped, wood, but Outdoor Living has the largest showroom in St. Louis, 2,000 square feet of decking, so I figured out exactly what I wanted from the largest showroom in town. 314-966-DECK or OutdoorLivingInc.com.
Spring is here. Time to think of baseball, Easter, flowers blooming, fresh mowed grass. Think about making the trip to Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant part of your weekly plan. Whether an early breakfast, midday lunch, a homestyle dinner, or a late night bite to eat, Gingham's is your home away from home 24 hours a day. Spring into spring at Gingham's Restaurant in St. Charles, 636-946-0666 or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I want to buy your home. Any property, any condition, and always as is. I will pay top dollar with no contingencies and no inspections. You walk away with cash. So don't waste time and money making repairs and paying real estate commissions. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867 or go to robangproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
When you're injured, everything changes. The stress, the bills, the uncertainty. One call changes it all. Underlaw.
They step in, they take on the fight, and they don't back down. You can count on Onderlaw. Onder wins.
At Onderlaw, they've recovered over $5 billion for their clients. No surprises, no hidden fees, just results.
Online at onderlaw.com. Onder wins.
Hi, I'm Joe Clemens, Executive General Manager at St. Paul GM Country and longtime partner of KTRS. We'd like to congratulate KTRS on their 30th year anniversary. We've proudly supported KTRS charitable causes for many years, and here's to many more great years ahead.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show
with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey
on the Big 550 KTRS.
Meep, meep. All right, it's about 8 minutes before 4 o'clock. Captain Paul, how's traffic moving along?
Heidi, there's a crash on 270 north before 64 with traffic slow back to Manchester. 64 west is a little slow in front of Forest Park and heavy in Lake St. Louis. 64 east bogs down at 170. And in Illinois, 64 east is congested from 255 to 157. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
St. Louis and Jeremiah Love went quickly in last night's NFL draft, number 3 to be exact, and we wanted to know a little bit more about the Superstore, so we are joined by his high school coach, Scott Pingle, who also happens to be my brother-in-law. Thanks for making time for us because I know it's a big night at your house.
Yeah, no problem. I'm excited. It's been fun talking about Jeremiah and reliving some old memories, so I'm glad to talk to him.
When did you first know that you had a special player in Jeremiah? Was it freshman year? Did you know immediately, or did he have to grow into it?
I think he kind of grew into it, but you saw some things that a normal 14, 15, 6-year-old couldn't do, whether it be his speed burst, whether it be his ability to change direction. But the thing that I think separated Jeremiah the most was just how he could get to his top-end speed faster than anyone I've ever seen before. And someone asked me, when did I know? And it was more like when he left, I was like, oh, that's not normal. Like when he went to Notre Dame, I was like, okay, not all high school kids could do that. So that's when I kind of noticed that this guy was unique. And, he also he was on a JV basketball team as a freshman. Then for whatever reason, one game he decided to play freshman or something happened. I don't remember what happened. And then he's going down the court on a freshman basketball game now, mind you, and just windmill dunked it. And, the two coaches were like, what's this kid doing on a freshman? So, right then, you kind of knew that this kid is pretty unique. But, I didn't know it was going to get to this level. But once he kind of kept progressing at Notre Dame, you knew he was special, too.
And, Coach, things on the college level are just insane right now. We have no idea where this is going to end up. I don't even know if these kids go to class anymore. But when it comes to the high school level, it seems a bit more pure still, at least. But when a player like Jeremiah, who's from the area, when does he get on your radar as a high school coach?
I don't know anything really until they come to our school as ninth graders. Really, you just kind of don't know who's going to show up, and when they show up, you coach them. And then so you have a guy like Jeremiah. It's funny, like we always talk about junior football league because we have to train running backs in high school to run where the play's designed. A lot of times they run outside because that's where less contact is and less physicality is, and you always say you won't be able to get away with that in high school. Well, I think number 4 was the exception to that rule. He could kind of get away with that in high school. But he was just that unique talent. But, I didn't know who we got until they showed up.
So I read a story in Sports Illustrated about him being upset that teammates didn't get their number or maybe not enough yards. I mean, he really is more than a football player. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's selfless. That's the word I've been using to describe him. And, he really revels over the other people succeeding. And he takes pride in helping them succeed. there would be times in our games where we'd be in it's called a package, a certain personnel package. And when we were going up tempo, I didn't care who lined up where. I just wanted to go as fast as we could. And, most of the time Jeremiah would take the blocking assignment so his teammates could shine. The other two running backs were some of his best friends. So he kind of wanted them to get some glory and some shine. He knew he was going to get his, but he kind of wanted to share it. And, there was times we had to change packages and say, okay, you can't hide now. We're giving you the ball because we wanted him to have the ball. But that's just kind of who he was. And the number thing's kind of funny because we kind of butted heads because there was a certain way you picked your numbers, and his friends didn't make the right amount of attendance, didn't do enough to earn their points. And Jeremiah fought for them, even though he wasn't right. He still got he was still fighting for his teammates, and we still laugh about that today.
Coach Pingle, another thing, the way he stands out, he got drafted. A lot of running backs get drafted. But as high as he was drafted, the contract he got in today's NFL, or I don't want to say running backs are less valued, but maybe literally financially they are less valued because of the short shelf life. But this whole situation in the last 24 hours goes to show how the league really, what they really think of him.
Yeah, I think the good thing is Jeremiah doesn't have a lot of tread on his tires. He didn't have a ton of carries at Notre Dame. He didn't have a ton of carries at CBC. So he's going to relatively be fresh in my mind. But also the thing that makes him unique is that he's a 3-down back, and that that's what the NFL is seeking right now. He's a guy, you guys will be surprised how great of a blocker is. He loves pass blocking. He takes so much pride in pass blocking. If they line him up in a slot and try to play man-to-man on him with like an outside backer, they're in trouble. Jeremiah is a unique talent where he can be an elite receiver too. Honestly, I think he could be an all-pro wideout. He's just that talented with ball skills, route running. So that's what makes him unique is, you can hand him the ball, you can throw him the ball, but he'll also protect the quarterback. And, I think that's what is going to separate him. And really, I think that's why he went so high.
Coach, you call him a 3-down back, but his backup at Notre Dame went in the first round yesterday.
Yeah, they recruit pretty well there at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So what was the timeshare there? Was that, again, part of Jeremiah wanting to share the love, or Notre Dame said, we don't want to run this kid into the ground?
I think it's the latter. I think that's where the game is now. It's a more physical game. It's a more violent game. It's more plays in a game. So I think you try to have that 2-man rotation. I think gone are the days when you're just going to hand it to a guy 30 or 40 times. Now I think if you can get 2 guys with 15 to 18 carries, even at the high school level, I think you get more out of them, and they're fresher. And, I think they just can last a little bit longer. So I think that's intentional for sure. Yeah.
Scotty, have you had a minute to talk to Jeremiah since he was drafted?
No, I sent him a text, and he got back to me today. And he always sends me something with an emoji, but it was kind of funny. This one had sunglasses on, so I think he's really like living out in Arizona a lot. And he had his little signal to it. So no, but he's kind of been on his own. But we talked a lot his freshman year. I did it with a lot of players. You kind of hear so much more about the freshman year because I think when they're gone for that first year, they start using some of the tools that they were given somewhere throughout their life. And, so it's like they understand now what some of the things we would have said or they heard somewhere down the line. So just seeing Jeremiah become a man, it's been a pretty fun journey for me as a high school coach, seeing him from 14 to now early 20. So it's been a pretty cool ride.
And we've got something going here with the Metro Catholic running backs in Notre Dame, don't we? Kyron Williams, who is with the Rams, and now Love, and we got to keep that pipeline going.
Yeah. Just it's a blessing, right? That all the kids get to see that out of St. Louis this can happen. But also you got to, I've been talking to my kids about, look, he's a great football player, but what else is he? And I tell them, I try and challenge them to learn all the things he is off the field too. And that's what I think Kyron is. And Jeremiah, you cannot be a one-trick pony anymore. You got to be smart. You can't just be a guy that gets bad grades. You got to be a full person and a full human being to be an elite athlete. It's not just talent alone. I promise you that.
That's great.
Scott, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. Have a great weekend. Maybe I'll see you.
Awesome. See you guys. Thanks for having me.
From ABC News. I'm Mike Dubusky. Movement towards peace talks in Iran, with the White House now saying Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, are headed to Pakistan tomorrow to begin indirect talks. ABC's Ian Pannell has what could happen next.
What a Pakistani official is telling ABC News is that if the talks with both parties goes well, then it's possible that on Sunday they could sit down together. Meanwhile, we've had Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth bullish on U.S. strategy with Iran, saying they'd bleed out the Iranian economy with the naval blockade, urging Tehran to cut a deal.
Earlier today, Hegseth said the Pentagon will send another aircraft carrier to the region. A court appearance today for a Fort Bragg service member accused of using classified information to bet on the U.S. capture of former Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro.
He was released on $250,000 an unsecured bond in order to appear next Tuesday in Manhattan in federal court, where we expect he will likely be arraigned on this 5-count indictment that detailed how he made these trades on Polymarket just before that operation was executed to capture Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela. This series of trades of about $33,000 that netted him about $409,000 in profit.
ABC's Alex Mallon. 10 people were injured in Enid, Oklahoma, which was leveled by tornadoes last night, and in Georgia.
Being the number 1 and 2 ranked fires in the country, also the most homes lost ever in a Georgia fire, really shows you just how bad these 2 fires are.
Governor Brian Kemp says his state is dealing with the largest wildfires in the country. More from ABC's Morgan Norwood.
91 counties now under a state of emergency in South Georgia, with plumes of smoke overtaking the skies, air quality alerts from Jacksonville to Columbia, South Carolina.
You're listening to ABC News.
Breaking news for your home. Wayday is here. It's Wayfair's big sale, where you can score the best deals in home, like up to 80% off with free shipping on everything. Plus surprise flash deals all Wayday long. You won't find better deals for your home anywhere else. We're talking furniture, decor, rugs, and more, all at Wayfair, and all up to 80% off during Wayday. So don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Wayday now through April 27th to score the best deals in home.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
74 degrees at 4:03 with KTRS News. I'm Steve Potter. Ray Hartman, the founder of the Riverfront Times, a fixture on KETC's Donnybrook TV show, and a former host here on KTRS, has been identified as the person killed yesterday in a highway accident. Reportedly, tires fell off of a towed unit on a tractor-trailer truck. The tires hit the concrete median and then flew in the air before striking Hartman's Chevrolet Bolt in the eastbound lanes of Interstate 64 at the 270 exit. Hartman was 73 years old. Missouri Governor Kehoe signed 4 bills into law yesterday. One modifies provisions governing the Regional Convention and Visitors Commission and the Regional Convention and Sports Complex Authority in St. Louis City and County, merging the two together under a 15-member Regional Visitors Commission that will oversee the Dome at America Center.
St. Louis has landed some incredible events, more to come, and I think this framework really sets them up for success in the future. And anytime you can take 2 kind of boards and commissions and get them focused on a single issue, it's a good day for that part of the region, and today it happens to be a good day for our St. Louis area.
The former police chief and city administrator of Velda City of North St. Louis County has been sentenced to prison. 52-year-old Daniel Polino will serve 27 months for stealing more than $300,000 in city funds. Polino was appointed city administrator in 2021 and served as police chief until the department was dissolved in 2024. In a victim impact statement, Velda City Mayor Derek Gill called the losses caused by Polino's actions devastating, and federal prosecutor Hal Goldsmith told First Alert 4 that the prison sentence was a fair and just punishment.
Turns out to be a thief, right? So he's stealing from the very people that he's charged with protecting.
The case was investigated by the FBI. And the second annual Southern Plain Pull returns to Mid-America St. Louis Airport tomorrow. Teams will go head-to-head, pulling a 22-ton aircraft to benefit Special Olympics Illinois. And the National Museum of Transportation at Kirkwood is inviting car enthusiasts to its all-Porsche car show on Sunday. That event runs from 9 a.m. until noon and showcases a lineup of the cars known for their classic design and high performance. This KTRS Business Minute brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. This week is Professional Administrators Week, and Walter Knoll Florist makes it easy to say thanks with flowers. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. Soulard now has a unique new business, a bunny-themed gift shop. Clem & Company opened on Sydney Street and offers items including stationery, notepads, greeting cards, art prints, and pens. And now the market's brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune into Straight Talk and Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. The Dow down 79 points at close to 49,230. NASDAQ up 398 to 24,836. And the S&P 500 up 56 at 7,165. Now for KTRS Sports and Traffic, let's go to Paul.
The Cardinals are back for a quick three-game homestand with the Seattle Mariners tonight. Andre Palante will get the ball for the Birds. George Kirby toes the rubber for Seattle. And the Blues announced that forward Jordan Kyrou underwent minor knee surgery earlier this week. Kyrou is expected to be a full go by the time training camp rolls around in September. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. There's a crash on 270 north before 64, causing a slowdown back to Manchester. 64 west is crowded in front of Forest Park and in Lake St. Louis. 64 east bogs down at 170. And in Illinois, 64 east is congested from 255 to Illinois 157 due to construction. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
We have a slight chance for rain running through today. Mostly cloudy tonight and overnight low in the mid-50s. Sunny tomorrow with a high near 78. At 4:07, mostly cloudy, 74 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
You don't see this every day. Auto House BMW is celebrating 60 years, and right now you can get a new BMW X3 with just 0.9% financing for 60 months, or lease a new BMW 3 Series starting at just $499 a month. Experience it for yourself at Auto House BMW.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
At Kohl's, spring style starts with the season's best shoe sale and continues with 15% off the rest of your looks. But with great outfits from Kohl's, what happens next is unexpected. Strangers ask where you shop. The breeze feels like it's blowing just for you. Your kids pose for photos willingly. Yep, great spring outfits can do that kind of thing. Find yours at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles, offers end April 26th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our headlines for this Friday afternoon, April 24th. Kansas City Boutique Hotel expands to St. Louis. Developers of several Kansas City boutique hotels plans to open the Truett St. Louis late summer or early fall. The hotel is in Lafayette Square neighborhood at 1723 Waverly Place and will be owned and operated by Ryan Heiser and David Tran, who have transformed.
Whoa. Did they run this by you?
That's what I drove by the house today to see it. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you didn't give a stamp
I approve.
Okay,
I
all
approve.
Right. Just wanted to be sure.
Anyway, they've transformed 3 historic Kansas City properties into boutique hospitality concepts. Condé Nast, Traveler, and March named 2 of their properties, the Truett and the Ida, among Kansas City's top luxury hotels. So they obviously know what they're doing. The St. Louis Hotel is Heiser and Tran's first venture outside of Kansas City. Heiser said that they're excited to bring a small-scale boutique hotel to St. Louis, a relatively untapped market for the concept. They've been considering opening a St. Louis location for several years and said they were drawn to the Lafayette Square historic character. Heiser said that Truett St. Louis, like the Kansas City predecessor, will be a comfortable, well-designed property in a walkable neighborhood. It is literally like half a block off the park. Trans said the Victorian-era property retains many of its original features, including plaster walls, ornate millwork, and decorative door surroundings. The 3-story home was built in 1884, and between the home and the separate carriage house, the Truett St. Louis will offer 8 guest rooms.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be really, really cool. Trans said the guests love being immersed in a local neighborhood, an authentic visitor experience that they're excited to provide to St. Louis. I think this is really cool. I've only stayed in a boutique hotel in a neighborhood once in Chicago, and it was really, like they said, you really kind of feel like you're more of a resident than a visitor.
I wonder how they will incorporate a kitchen. Is it almost like a B&B, or
I don't
do they
think so.
eliminate it?
I think it's just the hotel
Just
space.
the rooms.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Uh-huh.
Is it wrong for me to say I
Probably.
want...
Yeah. If
I
you
want
have to
the-
say that, it is.
I want the full service. I want the restaurant. I want the bar. I want
No, that's okay.
everything.
Then you don't go to a boutique hotel.
No, I don't. I want the
You'll
big.
be fine at the Super 8.
Yeah.
Bigger the better.
You might not be able to afford this anyway.
Well, fine.
Ouch.
I don't want to stay there anyway.
I think if you tried it once, you actually would like it better because you are somewhere else for the weekend. We kind of stayed in a boutique hotel, but a little bit bigger in Memphis. And who knows, this might have a bar in it as far as that goes, but I doubt it's going to have a restaurant.
Last couple of times to Fayetteville. This past weekend, we stayed in and I asked the question about the kitchen in a B&B, and the kitchen, still had the kitchen and all that, and it was really, really cool. 3-story, kind of Victorian, right where all the action is. And then we stayed in a Marriott boutique hotel called Moxie. Have you ever heard of that?
I have.
Really different and really pretty cool. And so I think there's more of an appetite for this
I do too.
than we might have originally thought.
I definitely think so.
So, Heidi, you love to travel. Josh, you do too. We all do. Mm-hmm. You like to hike. You like the outdoors.
Yes.
Josh, you don't seem like a hiker. Are you a hiker?
I'll hike.
I'll go hike
hike
over the
Don't
fridge.
paint me with that brush.
No. It was more of a question. The reason I bring it up is I have 2 hiker stories.
Okay.
It might give you pause.
Okay.
Hiker in California in a remote desert area. They were walking along and found a human skull.
Oh. Ooh.
The human skull, the hiker came across it, called the officials. It was in, what county was it? It was the Morongo Station in San Bernardino County. So out kind of on the way to Palm Springs and all that. So out in the desert. So was this a skull that was uncovered and is really, really old? They did say it had been in the weather a long time. Or did somebody want to bury a body there and it became exposed? Or, like these people, was it a hiker who had an event and ended up there? So they'll keep it, they'll do an investigation, and they said, quite frankly, it could easily become a cold case pretty quickly.
Ooh, yeah.
So that's interesting. Now, let's continue hiking, shall we?
Okay.
How would you like to go to Guatemala?
Sure.
Well, Guatemala's Santiaguito, a volcano, as it erupted, sending ash and debris into the air onto hikers who were hiking up the side of the volcano. Guess what? They weren't supposed to be there. Follow the signs. There's a 5-kilometer boundary around the volcano. It goes off every day. And these hikers wanted to get close. They almost got too close. No serious injuries.
That's just crazy.
Follow the signs.
Yes.
Please.
Exactly.
Do what they say. But if you want to go to Guatemala, there's your next hike.
No, thank you.
All right, here is a story from the Wall Street Journal. People are saying that drinks out are getting so expensive that they have turned to a time-honored college tradition of pre-gaming before they go out.
Oh, yeah.
One person they interviewed said that they went to a concert recently and saw a single can of White Claw. This is a seltzer drink. Single can of White Claw was $20 at a concert. And she said, wow, I saw that and thought to myself, I'm really glad I pre-gamed before I got here. They say that some are skipping alcohol altogether when they go out. 41% of people say they're choosing water or non-alcoholic drinks instead because they have just gotten too expensive.
So when you go to an event like that, do you pregame? Have you thought about it?
So I am of the ilk to not pregame because I drink fast. And if I start early,
You're a glugger?
I'm a glugger. And whether it's water, soda, I suck them down, Bob. That's why I tend to go for the lower alcohol stuff, and I tend to not try to start early because I want to last longer.
Heidi?
Yes, all the time.
You're a professional. I was going to set it up.
She's
I was
pre-gaming right now.
Yeah. No, I was going to say you're a professional goer-outer.
Yeah.
You guys are out seeing stuff and concerts and going, and pregame is a regular staple?
It's usually, like tomorrow night, we're going out with a group of 8. We're going to this early bird dance party, which sounds a little like we are senior citizens, and maybe some of us are, but we'll have a little pre-party before we get there.
Yeah, there you go.
At a friend's house.
But what's the reason? Because it's expensive going out these days?
Oh,
or
no. Just because we want to
let's get started
extend
early?
the party.
Yeah.
I heard a radio piece over at Lindenwood. There were some college students that did one of these early bird dance parties, and it might even be alcohol-free. It's just for students and young adults to go out and have fun and be home by 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get the pregame because I have to be the driver.
Oh. Yeah. There's always Uber.
Your wife she's like, who is Marty's mom in Back to the Future? She's got the flask in the passenger seat.
I think it's usually called Fireball.
Oh, I love Fireball.
Or Rum Chata.
Oh, yes, that's a good one, too.
And just really quickly, speaking of expensive things, there was an online rumor that Chipotle was launching a subscription service, unlimited meals, $59 a month. It's not true. It's not true.
Okay.
But can you guys eat the same thing every day?
Ice cream.
Ice cream? I'm talking about
I don't eat it every day, but I could.
Like a burrito a day. Could you? My wife's like, I had pizza yesterday. I'm like, so what?
Yeah, but then the third day, the fourth day,
Yeah,
the
I can
fifth
do
day.
too. Like I ate our leftovers from last night today for lunch, but I couldn't do it again tonight.
3 burritos a week.
Depends. I probably could. Yeah.
Mix it up with a bowl every once in a while.
Yeah, I definitely could.
Could you eat at the same restaurant every single day?
Not
every
day.
Yeah, but I could definitely go to Bread Company 3 times a week.
Yes, absolutely.
Easily. So, yeah, I probably would lean that way. You mentioned the hikes, and we're going to get out next weekend in the RV, and we're going to take our bikes to the Katy Trail and just go and explore. What's so fun, at least for us, we go to Defiance. We'll go across to Defiance Ridge Winery. The Mighty Pines are going to play next Friday night there, so we'll do that. And then Saturday, we'll get up and we'll bike. That's kind of what our RV trips are like. They're whatever we kind of put together. Like when we go out to Seattle, we're going to stop at Yellowstone and, again, see some of those fun things. We'll go to Wyoming and go to a rodeo. It's not always just staying there at the campground and, building a campfire. If you're out RVing, it's just basically your home away from home, and you can take it wherever you want to go. Byerly RV is really your destination, one of the most trusted RV dealers in the Midwest, and you'll find the best selection of motorhomes, travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and all here in Eureka at Byerly RV. It really is a fantastic spot that has you covered on everything, whether you need parts, if you need service done, if you're looking for a place to store, or if you're ready to trade and get a little bit bigger RV. So whether you're searching for a specific brand, a floor plan, a price range, basically the Byerly team can help you out and even tell you, look, the car you have right now, it can tow this, this, and this. By the way, they also rent RVs, premium RVs. So if you've never done it before and you think, you know what, I want to try this out, call Byerly RV, 636-938-2000, 636-938-2000. Swing by the dealership this weekend in Eureka. They're right there at 109 and 44, or do a little shopping online at ByerlyRV.com. It's Friday, and coming up, Mike Ward joins us to talk about a new canned cocktail and where you can sample it this weekend.
Lori Shoes on Manchester Road in Glendale is celebrating 75 years as a family-owned and operated traditional sit-and-fit shoe store with a dedicated team, including 3 on-staff podorthists. Lori Shoes has an unbelievable selection of thousands of pairs of shoes for men, women, and children with brands like Brooks, Hoka, New Balance, Birkenstock, Keen, and more. Lori's has been a great fit for St. Louis since 1951. Online at loriesshoes.com.
Are you helping to take care of a senior-aged parents living at home? How many times are you getting a phone call to help them navigate daily tasks, from shopping online to running errands, doctor's appointments? It can be exhausting and it can be frustrating for everyone. You need to check out Senior Concierge. It's a subscription-style membership dedicated to helping St. Louis area seniors stay connected and confident while living at home. It's as easy as an app, and it's just $79 a month. They'll get access to all of the personal concierge support that can assist you with a wide range of needs, from dinner reservations to concerts, sports tickets, home maintenance, groceries, housekeeping, rides to and from the doctors, and so much more. Senior Concierge, convenient, confidence, and connection begins here. Become a member today. Learn more at seniorcstl.com. That's seniorcstl.com, or call 314-270-7800 or seniorcstl.com.
Drugs are true healers when we are ill, but they can destroy when abused. Instruct our young people about the hazards of drug abuse. This message is brought to you by Accurate Mechanical Contractors in St. Louis, serving the area with reliability and excellence. For information, call the professionals at 314-291-4336. That's 314-291-4336. Accurate Mechanical Contractors is on the air because they care.
I'm Angie Markway with Altair Travel and Cruises, and we are proud to have been an advertising partner with the Big 550 KTRS for nearly 25 years. Over the years, our business has grown alongside our campaign with McGraw, Jill Farmer, Heidi Glaus, and the entire KTRS team. As a locally owned and operated company, Altair Travel is honored to serve the St. Louis community, and we deeply value the relationships we've built through KTRS. Congratulations to the Big 550 KTRS on 30 incredible years. Let's keep it rolling.
John Londoff Jr. here, president of Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. On behalf of myself and the entire team here at Londoff Auto Group, we want to congratulate the Big 550 KTRS on 30 years of being the talk of St. Louis. Congratulations on 30 years from your friends at the Johnny Londoff Auto Group.
Tune in weekly to the Frank and Jill Show to catch the new Legal Eagle segment featuring renowned attorney Travis Noble of Travis Noble Attorneys at Law.
Every week, Travis will join the show for an entertaining segment focusing on legal stories
and news right here on the Big 550.
Wake up, it's a brand new day.
Getting your weekday started the St. Louis way.
It's the McGraw Show.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer on the next Frank and Jill Show. A local expert that can tell even the toughest cases of high credit card debt how you can get out of it. It's worth listening to. And in Success St. Louis, one of the most successful architecture firms in the entire country, right here in St. Louis, find out the incredible projects they've created.
McGraw Millhaven, Rose Dalton, and Carl the Intern. Weekday mornings, 6 to 10.
Right here on your hometown station, the Big 550 KTRS. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show
With Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey
on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, we try to make things as easy as possible here. So today, Mike Ward is back with some delicious canned cocktails. There is no work involved other than just popping the top. Right, Mike Ward?
Make it so easy. And this time of year, people are going on float trips out to the pool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so many of these for people to choose from. I'm trying to kind of give them some options and maybe make it a little easier with this brand that we're talking about.
That's a great point, because if maybe you've been a beer drinker or a wine drinker, but it's summertime, you do want something a little lighter, perhaps, a little more summery flavor. But then you go look, and there's a million choices. So how do we narrow this down?
And there's get more and more all the time.
Yeah.
And then I kind of break it down as, are they, and I mean, be critical, but where does the flavors come from? Are they kind of fake, like extracts, or are they real flavors?
I always want to make sure it's a decent brand. The spirit itself, it comes from somewhere good.
Yeah. So let's start with our sponsor today, the folks from Beam Suntory. So you know their products, Jim Beam, Maker's Mark, Knob Creek.
Quality.
Right. So I always look there first. Okay, so if this product is vodka-based, we know that the vodka is going to be well-made. And then it comes from this process. It's called -196. And people have probably seen this in the store. We're talking specifically today about Dirt Cheap, because this is, as we're going to get into it, there's some special offerings associated with them. So you've seen this brand.
And we'll be able to do a little taste testing.
You'll be able to taste it and kind of get these new flavors and new sizes there as well.
Does -196 mean anything?
It does.
Okay.
So you take the fruit first, and we bring it down, or they. I don't do it. I like to see it done, but they bring it down to -196 degrees with liquid nitrogen.
So I got a peach. I throw it in a vat.
Right.
And we take it down to -196.
Right. That's kind of where the name comes from. And then, okay, what does that mean? Well, it's a unique way through how they experimented with this. And I've been to the Beam labs where they kind of come up with this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a unique way to break the fruit down and extract extra flavors from it in a natural way. So it's real fruit that they're freezing and then extracting the flavors from it.
Don't you wonder how they decided to try that in the first place?
Yeah, and that's the nice thing is they're a big company with a lot of money. They can do this. And if it didn't work,
they try something else.
Right.
Almost like the Reese's thing. You'd think, a guy's walking down a walkway, has a tray of fruit, and there's an open vat of liquid nitrogen. Oh, he trips and it goes in. Hey, look at this.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like that, I think. That's how, let's just make it up and say that's what
happened.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was real people, real scientists that came up with this.
So has -196 been around for a while, or this is brand new?
Yeah, a couple of years. I don't know that we've ever talked about the brand. Now, what we're talking about today is some different products that they're coming up with, and line extension, but it has been around for a couple of years.
And these are vodka-based?
Vodka-based.
Okay.
So that's where the alcohol comes from, not just a neutral spirit, but actual vodka.
Got it. And I know on the can it says no bubbles, 0 sugar. I mean, this is a really big deal for people trying to cut back.
Yes. And 0 sugar is a new lemon flavor coming out. So look for 0 sugar on the can. The regular cans that you've seen and you'll find in all the Dirt Cheap stores have a small amount of sugar to them. So just want to make sure we're kind of separating some of these flavors.
One more thing into the science of it. I guess it's science. If no bubbles is a selling point, do we think as consumers that the carbonation kind of fills us up more than we really want? Is that why we're going that route, no bubbles?
It does, and it's. I think it's typically used for canned products because a couple of things. One, in some products, it'll retain freshness. You don't need it for this one. And sometimes people expect that when they open the can, and it's kind of a consumer expectation. You don't necessarily need that. This product is made differently, and it's going to have all that flavor, and bubbles just going to get in the way.
Vodka and juice.
Right. But real juice.
Yeah, that is the key. The green tea seems like something I might want to try.
Green tea coming soon. So I'm kind of bringing an example today of some that you can get this weekend. And then as you love these, you can go out and get the green tea. And I think I'm really interested in trying that with assortment of flavors, too, because they all come in variety packs.
So let's talk about the new flavors that they have coming out.
So let's start with this Combo Crush variety pack that you can get. And that is out, and then you're going to be, and I'll list the stores before we're done here where you can find them. Think Dirt Cheap and some of the Mobile on the Run stations. So Combo Crush is, one of them is yuzu and lemon. Ooh. What do you think about that? Yuzu? I had to look it up.
What
it's
is
kind of
it?
a tangerine flavor.
Okay.
Yuzu.
Huh. Because, remember, the Suntory is a Japanese company, and so that's the connection with these.
Yeah.
But I don't want to confuse people. We're not talking about sake here, but we're talking about, that's kind of where it comes from.
Okay.
Strawberry, kiwi, peach and mango.
Okay.
Grapefruit and cherry.
Peach mango sounds really good to me.
Does sound good, doesn't it? Imagine sitting by the pool or something this summer. Really easy, no-brainer. Combo flavors, because the originals were single flavors. So now they're coming out with these combo flavors.
Got it. Now, are they also repackaging it? Are the cans different? Or smaller or bigger? Something going on with that?
They are coming out with the tall boy cans. And so I was thinking to myself, because, I'm in this industry and it's changing a lot and you got to keep up on it. And normally we talk about wine, of course. So this is a trend where people do want that larger can. This is great. I would think this, if you're going out on the golf course and you got a cooler or something like that, and the folks from Wallace Oil, who really are great sponsors of the show, wanted me to make sure people know all summer long, 2 cans for $5, so make it really simple.
Whoa.
But it's, not a single portion. What are you going to, what are you going to do? I mean, yeah.
So all the dirt cheaps have this, did you say 2 for $5?
2 for $5
That's
for the
great.
tall boy can for the whole summer, starting now. So now, full of flavor, natural flavor. Think about how they extract that fruit flavor, so you're not having a bunch of empty calories with fake flavor extracts.
Yeah, I was reading, I think in this coming soon, the no sugar, only 90 calories, which you can't get that in hardly any drink.
Right. Yeah, so you're not filling up with a bunch of calories and jumping off the diets and everything. I mean, there's a little bit. 5.5% alcohol, so it's kind of the equivalent of a beer.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's an alternative. And I think this isn't a category that I'm not trying all of these all the time.
Well,
this
there's
I've
so
tried.
many.
There's too many of them, right?
But this one I was also reading has kind of crept to the top of list. I mean, this is one of the ready-to-drink cocktails that a lot of people are grabbing.
They are finding this for the first time. And I think about our listeners, and how confusing this must be when you walk into the store. I'm kind of in there all the time, but there's so many options. This one kind of came out, and I remember when it came out and it was on the shelf, but people are starting to find it. Mm-hmm. And I love the fact that Dirt Cheap is really getting behind it and want people to try this brand. And they are, when you get to know them, they are looking for quality too, and wanting to make sure it's something that makes sense for their customers.
So another interesting thing, it says, minus 196, legendary in Japan, now crafted in the U.S. So has this been in Japan for a while and we're just now being introduced?
It's the nice connection with Beam Suntory, a company that, I've represented for a long time in a lot of their products, is they do have that connection in Japan, and so they can take some products that were innovative in that market. And that's a way different type of beverage alcohol market than we are here. And they can try things like this, see that it works, and then bring it over here, and then sort of adjust it for American market, obviously, a little bit. But the packaging looks very Japanese to me. It looks like you're getting something. I always think of sake, and that sake has nothing to do with this, of course.
This is a vodka base. And
right.
Are all canned cocktails basically a seltzer or not necessarily?
Not necessarily. Canned cocktails nowadays, because there's so many of them, can come in so many different forms. And I think what I'm finding as I research this category a little bit is, with a lot of them, you don't know where the alcohol comes from, or you don't know where they're getting the fruit flavors. That's where I always take this a step further. If I'm going to talk about it on our show, I want to make sure that it's real, or as natural as you can get. Of course, it has to be preserved in a can, but as natural as you can get.
Yeah. Well, I'm anxious to try these. Tell us about some of the places that we can go and taste test.
Okay, I think everybody would agree there's probably a Dirt Cheap around every corner.
Absolutely. And so every single Dirt Cheap?
They all have them.
Okay.
But O'Fallon and Afton, so South County, because we've kind of tried to make this a place anywhere you can get Hillsboro.
Okay.
Oh.
Fredericktown, and then Wentzville is the Mobile on the Run. And these are places where these are case stacked, displayed this weekend. You can get them tonight on your way home. You get them tomorrow, and there will be some tastings. I don't have the tasting schedule, but I will. You can email me, mike@wardonwine.com. And if you're interested in this and say, hey, I want to try it before I buy it, you can send me an email, and I'll figure that out. I'm working with the people at the distributor to give me that tasting schedule. But I know these stores, Washington, O'Fallon, Afton, Hillsborough, and Fredericktown, so we're spread out everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wentzville is not a dirt cheap. It's a Mobile on the Run.
Got it.
In Wentzville. Okay.
But go back to this. I could walk into a dirt cheap and buy 2 cans.
For $5.
Yeah, for $5.
The
I don't
large.
have to buy
Right.
the large ones. I don't have to buy a case. I don't have to make the commitment. I can say, this strawberry kiwi sounds good. Let me try this and the peach one.
Right.
And we're good.
Yes.
I walk out of there 2 cans in hand and have a nice little afternoon.
You can also get 4 cans for then $10.
Oh, of course.
Well played. Mike Ward,
Yeah.
it's always so much fun having you and learning about a newer product. This is exciting.
Yeah, thanks. And coming up, we're going to talk about tequila because we got a big tequila events coming
Holiday,
up. So
yeah.
we're going to switch that next week. But
All right.
thanks. Yeah.
Looking forward to that. And of course, you can hear more wine, spirit, beer talk every Sunday night on Uncorked with Word on Wine and yours truly, Heidi Glaus, here on the Big 550 KTRS at 6 o'clock.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Always something new Mike Ward brings in. It is already 4:37. Let's see how traffic's moving with Captain Paul.
Heidi, no accidents, but there is a stalled vehicle on 270 north past Olive, blocking 2 lanes with a backup to near Ladue Road. 64 west is crowded in front of Forest Park and in Lake St. Louis. 64 east bogs down around 170. And in Illinois, 64 east is congested from 255 to Illinois 157 due to road work. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, guys, tax season is over, and Jeff Zufall is on his much-deserved tax holiday. He is. Apparently, you've got Sanibel, Captiva, and then you have North Captiva, which you can only get to by boat. And so Jeff has gone as far away from taxes as possible.
Good for him.
But he deserves,
yes, that's what I'm saying.
Half, if not 3/4 of the shows that we had to do the last 4 months, we had to do by phone because he couldn't, even on a Saturday, he couldn't leave the office. But when he gets back, it's time for the extensions. And what I think is even more important, it's time to get yourself set up for next year. Now's when you actually save money on your taxes. By starting the FSA, by starting the 529 for your kids' schooling to pay for books and all that stuff, by starting this, by starting that, if you've got medical bills that you know that you're going to pay $10,000, $20,000 in medical bills every year, start an HSA, health savings plan. It's tax-free, and that one you can double dip on. You get the tax savings and you get the tax keepings. Just talk to Jeff about it and talk to him when he gets back from vacation now, so you can take advantage of all the tax keepings for May 5? So for the next 7 months, you have tax winnings. That's what you do now is you make sure that next tax season you keep even more. It is Capital Advisory Group. It is Jeff Zufall. It's the show we do on the weekends. Keep what's yours. And the number is 636-394-5524, 636-394-5524, capitaladvisorygrp.com.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
Hallmark Stone is a wholesale fabricator of quartz and granite countertops. They normally only sell to kitchen and bath shops, home stores, remodelers, and builders. But once a year, they open their doors to the general public to benefit Annie's Hope and Carney's Kids Charities. This Saturday and Sunday is that weekend. It's the 23rd annual Remnant Sale, where you can buy quartz and granite remnants at up to 50% off retail pricing. Remnants are great for vanity tops, islands, fireplace surrounds, bar tops, and more. David Sherwood and Anne-Marie Boges will be broadcasting live on Saturday from 11 to 1. So come by and say hello. Hallmark Stone, located of I-44 at the Soccer Park exit. For directions, call 636-349-1288. Or better yet, check out their website at hallmarkstone.com. Enjoy extreme savings while benefiting local charities. What a great combination. Stop by Hallmark Stone's 23rd annual Remnant Sale this Saturday and Sunday. For more information, visit hallmarkstone.com.
Can I get serious for a moment? Something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is my front yard and taking care of your front yard. Because when you drive by someone's house and it's full of weeds, you think to yourself, oh man, it's very, very simple. You know how much I love to pretend to be a yard dork. You know what I use? Fertilome. I go to fertilome.com and I type in my zip code, and a whole host of local independent lawn and garden dealers show up. I buy the crabgrass preventer plus lawn food. It's the spring application. I get it down on my yard as soon as possible, and that greens up my yard and keeps the weeds away. So it makes me look like I know what I'm doing. But really, all I'm doing is getting Fertilome and putting it on my front yard. And that will take care of my yard for many, many, many weeks, and it go a long way to having the greenest yard in the block. So this spring, you want to green up your yard and get rid of the weeds? It all starts at Fertilome or fertilome.com.
Hi, St. Louis. This is Ben Barnett, board-certified master arborist and owner of Timberline Professional Tree Care. The weather's warming up, flowers are blooming, and it's time to get back outside and start thinking about your trees. When you reach for your phone to call a tree contractor, we hope you'll give Timberline the opportunity to earn your business. Timberline is locally owned and operated and fully dedicated to delivering the best overall customer experience while providing the highest quality care for your trees. Every one of our crews includes at least one ISA-certified arborist on site, not just in the office, but right there at your home, so you can be confident the work is done safely, correctly, and always with your tree's best interests in mind. From planting and fertilization to pruning and removal, we're committed to excellence in everything trees. So when it's time to make that call Timberline Professional Tree Care at 636-479-7475 or visit us online at stltreecare.com.
Mrs. Weiland, why don't you go ahead and read the top line for me?
I should.
Next line.
Get my retirement. What's that?
Checked, Mrs. Weiland. Get your retirement checked.
Planning retirement on your own doesn't pass the eye test. Jerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost at Ricken Financial can help bring your retirement into focus. Call 314-207-6211. Ricken Financial, making sure your retirement vision is 2020.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment.
Carney, Buck.
Not that Julie coming back to the show isn't enough for you. Monday, woo, look out. We got a guy that's playing one of the games. When the BG story comes to the Sheldon, I'm sorry, I won't do that again. And gender reveals are pretty commonplace, but we found where they started, and the person that came up with the idea joins us on the show as well. That's Monday. We'll look for you.
John Carney, Julie Buck, weekdays at noon on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550. KTRS.
State and federal officials recently came up short when trying to corral tons of invasive carp at Creve Coeur Lake. What's the problem with carp, and what are the fish good for? Tim Simons is the CEO of Impact Fisheries and joins us to discuss. Thanks for making time for us, and thanks for all the food.
Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Josh. Pleasure to meet you.
So, how did the invasive carp get in Creve Coeur Lake to begin with?
Well, Creve Coeur Lake is right next to the Missouri River, and I am sure that at one point the Missouri flooded and got carp into the river. And so that's the most likely way that they got in there.
And so what's the problem? Are there simply too many of them?
Yeah, let me give you some statistics. If you think about the problem, there are 6 to 8 billion pounds of Asian carp in the Midwestern waterways. And if you think about the Mississippi, Illinois, Ohio, Missouri rivers and their tributaries, that's where a majority of the problem really is.
Got it. And so when they're pulled from the lake or a river, they often come to you at Impact Fisheries and you turn it into food?
We do. We turn it into both people ingredients and people food and ingredients for pet food.
Is carp something that many people fish for and you can just toss on the grill, or does it need to have some sort of additive?
Yeah, it's really much more of a preparation. So let me talk a little bit about the fish itself, and then we can talk a little bit about the preparation. So, silver carp is part of the Asian carp family. We only focus on silver carp as it's kind of the healthiest, cleanest eating fish. Silver carp are actually a filter feeder, meaning they kind of feed in the middle of the rivers and lakes. They're not a bottom feeder.
Okay.
And that's how it gets kind of a very neutral white fish taste to it. I view the taste as very similar to tilapia.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is a fish that is causing problems for us, but it could also be some solutions. Now, you brought this here, a big styrofoam cooler. You gave us 3 different kinds of, I call them sausage patties, because that's what they look like, all made out of 100% Asian carp. But you've got a Chipotle, a breakfast one, a Cajun one, a Southwest one, and then you brought us taco meat, which is actually half ground beef, half Asian carp ground up. And I told Heidi, I go, this ain't fish.
Yeah, he's in denial.
She said, Josh, that is 100% carp. It says it right here. I said, but this ain't fish, baby. So it doesn't. Yeah, you would have said, hey, there's a big sausage, a spread back in the kitchen, and I would have believed you.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And that's what I say. It's a very healthy, very neutral tasting whitefish, which means for chefs and people that prepare it, it takes on the flavor profile of whatever you're flavoring it with or mixing it with, right? And so we see a couple of different use cases on the human side. We make that product into a mince, meaning we separate the bones from the flesh, and then we just use that flesh as kind of a mince product. We put it into a 1 pound or a 5 pound chub for chefs to use. And they are able to then make that into a couple of different types of use cases. One that you've tried there is the fish itself, flavored for either a breakfast sausage or a Southwest or other ways to do it. Those are some of my favorite. I, too, have a personal favorite of the taco meat when you actually go kind of 50-50 hamburger meat and silver carp. It's an amazing combination. It makes an amazing hamburger and it makes amazing taco meat. And quite frankly, it's healthier.
Yeah.
Right? It's higher in omega-3 content. It's lower in fat. So this is really, something that gives you better protein, higher omega-3, and lower fat content.
So, Tim, how is the silver carp harvesting going, and maybe in particular at Creve Coeur Lake? Have there been difficulties?
Yeah, so there were difficulties at Creve Coeur Lake, but I think overall, we work with, about a dozen fishermen from Illinois, Missouri, all the way down into Arkansas that fish the rivers we just talked about, the Mississippi, Illinois, Ohio, Missouri. And we work with them and kind of trace our product back to them right at the boat, right? So traceability and quality is the most important thing. So our number one kind of key point is with these fishermen, they get them caught in big nets, bring them onto their boat, and we have them on ice in under 4 hours. So you're ensured of a very fresh fish coming off of the boats. And, you know, it's a great opportunity that we think we've kind of solved the problem on.
We're talking to Tim Simon, CEO of Impact Fisheries. You mentioned the Southwest patties, the breakfast patties, even the taco meat that's a 50-50 mix. Can people get that in stores? Can they get it if they come to Impact Fisheries? Or is this something that is special for employees?
Yeah, right now we are working with universities and food service organizations. That's kind of where we primarily sell the product today. We are also, you know, you can buy it in a few retail locations. I can tell you one in Chicago named Dick's Fish and Gourmet, which sells a very similar kind of hamburger taco mix or hamburger fish mix. I'm hopeful we could find someone in St. Louis that would want to sell this for us, and we'd be happy to partner with that type of product.
And then I'll tell you what it was like to me when I ate it in the forms that you gave it to us. It was like when I first found out that you can make a burger out of turkey. You know, I'm used to thinking of it as turkey is lunch meat, turkey is Thanksgiving.
Same reason that he didn't think that was fish in a patty.
Right. It's not. But can you grind it up and use it for make it versatile like you can with turkey now? You can make turkey sausage. You can make turkey bacon. Can you make fish Asian carp bacon?
I don't know about Asian carp bacon. I haven't thought about that, but you can definitely grind it up, and that's what that mince is. I mean, it's basically ground up Asian carp that's been deboned, so there's no bones in that fish, and it makes a really great base ingredient that, you know, again, chefs love to play around with.
Yeah.
And is this a nationwide problem? Is this something that they're dealing with in the Great Lakes or the Missouri or other rivers across the nation?
Yeah, this is really a pretty big Midwestern problem, right? And I think you may be familiar, but, you know, currently the state of Illinois and the U.S. government are spending over $1 billion to create barriers and dams so that these don't get into the Great Lakes. If Asian carp and silver carp particularly get into the Great Lakes, you're putting a $4 to $5 billion sport fishing and tourism industry in real jeopardy.
Yeah. Tim, are these the same carp that fly and you see the videos?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they are. They can jump 3 feet out of the water. They're a 12 to 15 pound fish. They can do some real damage.
Yeah, I was going to say we had a listener text in earlier that he was hit by one in a kayak. So you got to kind of watch out.
I think they call it smacked by one.
Maybe. Well, Tim, this has been educational. We are so happy to have you joining us. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for the opportunity, and people can go to impactfisheries.com if they have more questions. And we would love to be selling more of this to the folks out there.
All right. We will head people that way.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, it's about 7 minutes before 5 o'clock. Let's check in with Captain Paul. So far, so good on the roads. Is that still the way it looks?
Well, Heidi, we do have a problem on 270 near Page. It's a stalled vehicle with emergency vehicles on 270 north past Olive, blocking 2 center lanes with a stop and go back up to 64. That has 270 south running slow from Olive down to 64. 44 east is crowded, approaching the depressed section downtown. 64 west is busy in front of Forest Park and in Lake St. Louis. 64 east bogs down at 170. And in Illinois, 64 east is running at about 25 miles per hour from 255 to 157. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, Anne Marie here, host of the Inside Out Show and owner of Anne Marie Design Studio for Black Fox Cooper, St. Louis's premier Anderson certified contractor. That means every window they install meets Anderson's exacting quality standards, and the installation is guaranteed guaranteed for 2 years, in addition to the 20-year warranty on the glass. With over 20 years of experience and knowing our climate, Black Fox Cooper will install the optimal windows to keep your home comfortable and efficient year-round. And most projects are completed within a day or two with minimal disruption to your daily routine.
Call 314-270-1484 or online at blackboxcooper.com.
Hey, St. Louis, temperatures are rising, and if your AC isn't blowing cold enough, trust the experts at AAA Home Services. For 56 years, they've been fixing it right the first time. Our expert technicians are qualified to work on any system with any issue. We can even perform your annual maintenance on your air conditioner before it gets too hot. And if you need an estimate on a new system, we can do that too. For 56 years, St. Louis has trusted AAA for heating and cooling, electrical, plumbing, and appliance repair needs. Call 636-397-3200. Online at AAASTL.com. Call AAA. We're on our way.
Sunday mornings just got supersized. That's right. Sports Sunday on the Big 550 is now twice as long, from 10 a.m. until 12 noon. I'm Brendan Weesey, and I'll be joined by your KTRS Sports All-Stars, Randy Carricker, Frank Cusimano, Bob Ramsey, our Mizzou insider Eli Hoff. We'll get updates from the PGA Tour and St. Louis City SC. We'll fit it all in 2 hours. We'll see you Sunday morning at 10 on the Big 550.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Meep, meep.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
Well, Heidi and Bob back in the day on this date, 1800 even. The Library of Congress was established. $5,000 allocation at first to buy as many books as they can. Now they have 30 million books and more than 530 miles of shelves.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Let's try to walk that, Bob. Put your good shoes on. The draft is going on right now. The NFL draft, 1974. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were established as an NFL franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys like the creamsicles?
It was okay. I like the pewter and red better.
You do?
But the dreamsicles were kind of cool.
They kind of brought that pewter back in full force last year like they did in 96. But they've been trotting out that creamsicle a lot
Yeah,
more.
a little throwback. It's good.
What's old is new, right, Heidi?
Absolutely.
Care to weigh in? No? Yes or no in the creamsicle?
I don't care.
Okay. 1974, Bud Abbott passed away at the age of 76. Obviously, the Who's on First, Abbott and Costello.
Mm-hmm.
Bob, did you ever was it Abbott and Costello meet a ghost?
Meet Frankenstein and the Wolfman. It's one of my favorite monster movies of
Is
all
it
time.
really?
Oh, it's so great.
And it's funny.
Yeah.
You swear.
Yes. All the monsters are in there. It's awesome.
I remember in grade school, did you guys ever have this? We called it speech class, but it would just be kind of a club. And every year, 2 8th graders would come out and do the whole Who's on First routine.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we did not do that.
You guys did not do that?
No.
1989 in Massachusetts declared today, 37 years ago, New Kids on the Block Day.
Oh, well, of course.
Anybody still celebrating? I think the schools are out. 1992 on this date, David Bowie married Iman.
They're still together, aren't they?
They were until he died.
Died, yeah.
That's
In
right.
2016, yeah, they were still together when he passed. Speaking of the draft, again, 2004, Eli Manning was selected by the San Diego Chargers, #1 overall.
I forgot he was a number 1 pick.
An hour later, he was traded to the Giants because he refused to play in San Diego. I thought to myself at the time, what a piece of work.
Yeah.
You know?
It all worked out for him,
Have
didn't
a
it?
little, humility and go who picks. It worked out. 2 Super Bowl rings later.
Mm-hmm.
Peyton, his older brother, finally caught up to him when he won with the Broncos. And in 2005, Joseph Aloysius Ratzinger was inaugurated as Pope Benedict XVI. 2005. He retired 8 years later and passed away in December of 2022.
Here we are, ending with a death.
Well, no.
Chronology.
No, 2005 on this date, he was inaugurated as
Okay,
Pope. I'm just
okay.
reminding you.
That he's no
passed
longer with
away.
us. It is quitting time, and that sound is even better on a Friday, if you ask me. We, however, still have things to get to, including a conversation with the cast of Beetlejuice, 2 of the stars. It's at the Fabulous Fox. Starting tonight through Sunday, we'll hear why this is a show you'll want to see.
A violent crime is committed every 24 seconds. The U.S. Concealed Carry Association exists to provide you with firearms education, training, and access to self-defense liability insurance. So when trouble comes, you'll be ready. Over 800,000 Americans trust the USCCA, and right now, there's an exclusive, limited-time offer for radio listeners. Go to defendfamily.com to get a free family defense guide, a survival secrets training video from a retired FBI agent, and see all the benefits of membership. Go to defendfamily.com now.
This has been the talk of St. Louis for 30 years, and we aren't stopping now. We are the Big 550, KTRS St. Louis. Depend on it.
From ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. U.S. and Iranian officials are planning for indirect peace talks this weekend in Pakistan, according to the White House press secretary. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers.
Caroline Leavitt wasn't specific as to what has developed that has now led the president to dispatch his special envoy Steve Witkoff and his son-in-law Jared Kushner to Islamabad, Pakistan, to have this next round of talks with Iran's foreign minister. But she said that they hope that positive developments can come from this weekend and these talks.
Pakistani officials tell ABC News if all goes well, the two sides could sit for direct talks on either Sunday or Monday. Vice President J.D. Vance, who attended the first round of failed peace talks, is said to be on standby this time around. The Department of Justice is dropping its criminal probe into Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. The DOJ had been investigating a costly renovation at the Fed's headquarters. Fires continue to burn in Georgia, where more than 90 counties are now under a state of emergency. ABC's Morgan Norwood is there speaking with some of those affected.
Lucky Bragg overcome with emotion as she laid eyes on the flames still tearing through her and her mother's homes. Bragg, a volunteer firefighter herself, in disbelief at the speed in which the fire spread.
Earlier today, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp says fire activity will remain high through the weekend. This afternoon, Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt toured the damage from last night's massive tornado in Enid. Oklahoma emergency management officials say at least 40 buildings were destroyed or suffered major damage. National Weather Service meteorologist Rick Smith said damage assessments have led them to upgrade the tornado to EF4 strength.
Estimated winds 170 to 175 miles an hour, probably on the ground about 9 miles, but it was very, very slow moving, about 500 yards wide at the maximum width.
At least 10 people were injured in that storm. You're listening to ABC News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-990-1551. That's 800-990-1551.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. Ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
75 degrees at 5:03 with KTRS News. I'm Steve Potter. St. Louis journalist and media personality Ray Hartman has been identified as the driver who was killed Thursday afternoon when two tires that flew off of a unit towed by a semi-truck crashed through the roof of his car on Interstate 64. The Missouri State Highway Patrol said the crash happened on eastbound 64 near 270 when two tires came off the truck, hit the median, and went airborne, hitting the roof of Hartman's car. Hartman was known for founding the Riverfront Times as the owner of St. Louis Magazine, a longtime fixture on KETC's Donnybrook show, and also hosted his own show here on KTRS. Law enforcement agencies across the St. Louis area are partnering with the DEA for National Drug Prescription Take-Back Day tomorrow, and there are many collection centers across the region where you can dispose of unused medications. PSAs currently running on TV and radio address the issue of pharmaceutical drug abuse.
Our stories are different, but the outcomes are the same.
You could save someone's life.
It's time to take back your unused or expired prescription drugs.
Before they end up lost,
stolen,
or simply misused.
Help keep our community safe and healthy at DEA's Take Back Day, April 25th.
Tomorrow, drop-off locations can be found in many communities across the metro region, at local police stations, SSM health locations, and at area Walgreens. St. Louis County is seen as first rabies activity of the year.
The St. Louis County Department of Health is warning residents to take precautions after a bat tested positive for rabies. Health officials say the infected bat was found in a Kirkwood home on April 16th. Now, this is the first bat to test positive for rabies in St. Louis County this year. Residents are reminded to avoid direct contact with wildlife and to have their pets vaccinated against rabies as required by the county. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
And Saturday and Sunday is the annual St. Louis Earth Day Festival in Forest Park, running from 11 a.m. until 5 o'clock both days. The theme this year is Planet versus Plastic, with some 200 vendors, sponsors, and educational resources that challenge plastic pollution and inspire more sustainable choices. There'll also be a main stage with a sustainable fashion show with local music and performers. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. This week is Professional Administrators Week. Walter Knoll Florist makes it easy to say thanks with flowers. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. Last night, city leaders in Ferguson delayed making a decision on a plan for a proposed data center. According to the mayor, more transparency is needed before a vote, and he says they'll address the issue again on April the 30th. Now the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune into Straight Talk and Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. At close, the Dow down 79 points at 49,230. NASDAQ up 398 at 24,836. And the S&P 500 up 56 points at 7,165. Now let's check in with Paul for KTRS Sports and Traffic.
Steve, the Cardinals are back for a quick 3-game homestand with the Seattle Mariners tonight. Andre Palante will get the ball for the Birds. George Kirby toes the rubber for Seattle. And St. Louis City SC is home with the red-hot San Jose Earthquakes tomorrow. The Earthquakes are coming off a midweek 5-1 thrashing of Austin on Wednesday and are winners of 5 in a row. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. We have a stalled vehicle and emergency vehicles on 270 north past Olive, blocking 2 center lanes with a stop and go back up to 64. Estimated clearance time is 5:30. 270 south is heavy from Page down to 64 with a crash at Ladue. 64 west is busy in front of Forest Park and in Lake St. Louis. 64 east bogs down from 170 to Big Bend. And in Illinois, 64 east is congested from 255 to 157. This traffic report is brought to you by Aldon Heating and Cooling. Persistent St. Louis heat is on the way. Now's the time to take advantage of Aldon's $79 AC check. Book your appointment now as spaces are filling up fast. And for more information on a state-of-the-art Daikin Fit system, visit al-don.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our forecast is calling for mostly cloudy skies tonight, an overnight low in the mid-50s, sunny tomorrow with an afternoon high near 78. At 5:08, partly sunny, 75 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Work all night on a drink of rum. Daylight come and me one go home.
Stack banana till the morning come.
Daylight come and me one go home.
We all know Beetlejuice, the movie, and this weekend, Beetlejuice, the musical, returns to the fabulous Fox. Dan Mason and Desiree Harris star as Maxie and Maxine Dean, and we are so happy to have them in studio. Welcome to St. Louis. Have you guys played St. Louis before?
My first time here.
Yeah, first time here.
Oh, so cool. Yes. Well, thanks for being here, especially on opening night. Do you guys still get opening night jitters?
No, not really. After you've been going like city to city, it's just like, okay, it's like go, go, go. But certain houses get you, and I actually think this one is getting us a little bit.
Yeah, it's a pretty house.
Because it's like, this is a big deal. So like all of us, we want to do our best, but this one, you're like, oh my gosh.
We were totally phoning it in Fort Wayne. St. Louis is getting our best.
Yes. So how similar is the musical to the movie?
It's based on the movie. So there are certain things that you're going to love from the movie that you're going to see in the musical because, of course, we have to keep our, our characters like Barbara and Adam, and of course, but they mostly follow the track of Lydia and Beetlejuice and their relationship. So you see more of them, but you still get the best of all the characters you love.
Yeah, I mean, people forget that in the original Tim Burton movie, Michael Keaton is only in the movie for 19 minutes as Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
It's really about Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis's characters, the Maitlands. So you're going to get all those characters in this show, but Beetlejuice is front and center. He's your narrator at the top of the show, and really it's about the Beetlejuice and Lydia relationship.
So acting is acting, and you're on the stage and all that. Do you and you add the songs? What about the special effects and the practical effects that were real key to the movie? Do you try to replicate those, or do you kind of go your own way?
They brought in a whole special effects team.
Really?
Warner Brothers Theatricals is producing this musical. It's run on Broadway 3 times. They've run it on Norwegian Cruise Lines. Desiree has done it twice on the cruise ship before the tour. So you're going to get fire, you're going to get magic, you're getting all sorts of crazy projections. It is a big, splashy, big budget Broadway musical.
Yeah. Okay, but does that mean that more things can go wrong and you guys have to ad-lib when something happens?
We have a lot of contingencies for things. You're going to see a lot of things happen that, like, I've seen. This show was one of those things where they're like, this wouldn't happen. It will. It will. And it has. But it's like, hey, we're here for it. I think the show has amazing leadership in our Beetlejuice and our Lydia and many of the people you see on stage. Like, quick improv. If something has to happen, we'll figure it out. But our production team and everyone, the creators, they were like, okay, if this happens, this is what this happens. Like one of our things is like a book falls from the sky. And if that doesn't go off, we have a backup book somewhere just in case. But, we as actors, we have to be ready to, like, if it happens, okay, this is how we segue to this or that. So
and still stay real to your
character. Yeah, exactly.
Our creative team has been with this show. Our director, Katie, has been with the show since it was developed before Broadway. So they've seen every iteration of every mishap, and they're able to prepare us a lot for what to do in the event that something goes wrong on stage. Yeah. But most of the time, the audience never even notices.
That's right, because you're professionals. It's just part of what you guys roll with. So the show has been described as edgy, irreverent. Is that how you guys describe it?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
It's so funny. It's one of those shows where after you've done it, this is like my 3rd year, it is my 3rd year doing Beetlejuice. And every time I'm still backstage, like singing along or saying this or laughing at certain things because it is so fun. And every time you come, I've watched the show many times as just like in rehearsal. Every time I watch it, I see something new that I've never seen before. So it's going to get you. And yes, it is edgy. It is fun. It's exciting in so many ways. And it gets you. It pulls on your heartstrings as well. So it does everything.
The show is very PG-13, but I would say a lot of families you see come to the show, parents know the source material, they grew up with the movie, and a lot of the kids found this musical during the pandemic through TikTok audio, a lot of sounds that went viral. There's also a Beetlejuice Junior version that's licensed at the school level. So a lot of kids have already done Beetlejuice within their school or their theater education group. So families are able to come together and just enjoy it with different perspectives, and it's a blast.
So tell us about the music. What kind of music will we hear with this musical?
Well, Eddie Perfect is a pop songwriter from Australia. He's actually played Beetlejuice now in the Australian production.
Wow.
The score is so underrated. It's very smart. It is very funny. You're going to get a lot of just big, over-the-top Broadway show tunes.
But we do get Deo.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Okay.
That's our big moment on stage.
It is,
Maxie and
actually.
Maxine. We're the
It
dinner
is.
guest at the Possessed dinner party.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we get to conga line across that stage
Yes.
during
It's
the
so
banana
good.
boat number.
It's so fun.
And since the show, the Broadway show came out, we got a second Beetlejuice movie. But go back, I might have missed it. Is this story a third story, or is this based off the original movie to a T?
No, based off the original movie, like I said, the story's been updated a lot for 2026. The focus is different. It's the Maitlands are going to be present. They're a big part of the show, but it really is about Beetlejuice and Lydia. And it just works better for the times that we're in right now.
Is there a model of the neighborhood on stage at some point?
There is. So,
Does Beetle come up out of the ground?
no, there's not that exactly, but there are a lot of things. There are a lot of Easter eggs, as you would say, from in the musical
lady
that you'll see
with the throat, and she smokes out of her neck.
Yes.
That's actually Desaria's character.
Yes.
That's one of her characters in the show.
I am she, Juno. Yeah, so Juno, like even Juno's character in the I feel like she has more time in the movie than Beetlejuice does. But she's in there as well, and she's over all of the netherworld. So she's like a millennia old, and she rules the netherworld, and you'll see her journey in it, and it's really fun. But we definitely have that effect.
Well,
There are just certain things you had to keep.
I do think that is such a great point. We're talking to Dan Mason, Desaria Harris, who are in Beetlejuice, which opens at the Fox tonight. But you play a couple of different characters.
I do.
Which is kind of crazy. How many costume changes are you making?
So I feel like I have a lot. I have a lot. So I start off as a mourner, just ensemble. You'll see me mourner. Then I go into I'm a choir member. You'll see why. You'll see what I'm talking about. Then I'm also Maxine, where I'm with Maxie, and we're just hilarious duo couple. And then I go into a neighbor. I'm the nosy neighbor, and then I am Juno at the very end. So, and the sandworm just loves me. You'll see. Sandworm really loves me. But yeah, and so I have a lot of costumes, but I love it. And I'm all different voices and everything for all of them.
And then also both of you understudy another character, which it blows my mind at the last second if you got to all of a sudden flip a switch and become somebody else.
I just had my first show last week on about 3 hours' notice where I stepped in for Charles and played the dad in the show.
Yeah. And what is that like? I mean...
Well, we do. I mean, we're very lucky that our creative team has given us a fair amount of understudy rehearsals through the process. So a lot of times when we're in a city for a week, it's not just that we show up at the theater at night and perform. We might be in a 4-hour rehearsal during the day, learning those tracks. And, we're always prepared when we go on.
So do you ever, when the Charles is doing something, do you ever all of a sudden your mouth starts going as far as his lines are?
You're always, you can hear it on the monitors in the dressing room when the scenes are happening. So you're kind of mentally going along with it.
Yeah.
Some
We
other
do it
members
all
of the
the time.
cast will do it very loudly in the dressing room, which is just bad etiquette, really. It's just, I don't need to hear you do this character every single night.
I got a weird question for you guys. There was a pretty infamous story last year about a United States Congresswoman being ejected from a showing of Beetlejuice the musical in Colorado.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Were you guys on stage at the time?
No.
We were not there as part of that tour. That was the last cast.
That
but
was the
I
last
certainly
cast.
read about it a lot. That was probably one of the first times I heard about the Beetlejuice musical. It was through that story.
Any Congress people going to get removed at the St. Louis show?
No, because
I don't know. Are there any in attendance today? Who
We
got?
behave better.
Yes.
I can tell you that. And the audiences are going to be fantastic because St. Louis has incredible audiences. What is it like at the end of the show when you come out and you get that standing ovation?
It is amazing. I feel Beetlejuice audiences, like the fandom is crazy. Like I think the first time it really hit us was when we were in Los Angeles at the Pantages, and we were just like, whoa, like we had amazing audiences before then as well, but that one was like, it just hit us in that stage door, the line wrapped around the building, and people were dressed up. People come fully dressed. Every time I'm like complimenting someone on what they're wearing, it's crazy. And then you have the Beetlejuice Junior kids who are like doing their production, and they'll come, they're like, I'm playing Juno, and I'm like, it's so adorable, but like they're amazing. But the crowd, they love it. They really do. And we love it too. And it makes makes us lock back and like, this is why we're doing it for them.
It's very rare that a show will run on Broadway and then have 2 other Broadway runs within an 8-year span.
Yeah,
Beetlejuice has had 3 separate runs on Broadway since 2018, which is just a testament to how much the fans are there and how much they support the show.
Yeah.
In addition to this sold-out tour that's all over the country.
Yeah.
The nuts and bolts acting stuff is interesting to me because I have no talent. And so I admire really when you're up on it's like going to, I'm a baseball guy, like going to an all-star game. The talent just is pouring off the stage. Anyway, so you talked about audiences and you talk about how funny and fun the show is. Do you get that vibe? Do you get the feel back from the audience when you hit a humorous mark and they just lose it? And talk about how it affects the timing. Like, do you expect it every time and react off that? How does that work as an actor?
Yeah, like I feel that's a really big one is just filling out a crowd. You know, like there's certain places where I've had it where one of my lines is supposed to have a laugh. Sometimes it doesn't. It does not. And it's not. And one thing, it's like no. But one thing we've learned is that as you go as an actor, that not every reaction is going to be the same. Wherever you go, what night you're in, it doesn't matter. So sometimes you have to just be very true to what the script is, true to what it is, and just like, you know what, they may have laughed. Not every laugh is going to be this ha ha laugh. Like a lot of times you're like. Because, you know, you don't laugh out loud at every little thing you hear in a movie. Right. You know, but there are certain things that get you on the floor. So that's what Beetlejuice is, you know, where, like, they have a lot of laughed out loud laughter. But sometimes audiences aren't as responsive. But this one is very much a show. We want to hear you. Yeah. People are trying to be very courteous and like, oh. Like, no, this is not a golf clap. Yeah. This is not a golf clap show. Like, we want to hear you, you know?
There's not much of a fourth wall between the audience and the actors in this show. Okay. And that is something we've experienced repeatedly, no matter where we're at.
Well, it is such a pleasure to have you guys here with us and opening tonight at the Fox. Beetlejuice is at the Fabulous Fox tonight and tomorrow at 7:30, Saturday afternoon at 2, Sunday afternoon at 1, and there will also be a 6:30 performance on Sunday, April 26th. You can purchase tickets at fabulousfox.com. You guys break a leg.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Daylight come and me one go home. It's 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and me one go home. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch.
Great story about Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. One of the wives called up and said, hey, we need an electrician. Call Michael Baldy. And the husband said, no, I can do it. Well, the wife overrode the husband, called up Michael Baldy at 314-968-9999. Maybe she checked the website first, baldyelectric.com. So Michael Baldy came out to the house. While he was at the house, the husband says, well, since you're here, I've got 3 or 4 other jobs for you. It turned out to be an all-day affair. They took care of everything. And so, no, the husband couldn't get it done. Good thing the wife called Baldy Electric, and now the whole house is fixed because of one simple phone call to Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. Indoor, outdoor, brand new commercial building, an old Victorian home, it doesn't matter. Michael Baldy and his team of electricians will take care of you. 314-968-9999, Baldy Electric, or baldyelectric.com.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu.
All hail Spamalot, the Tony Award-winning best musical comedy that will have you laughing your coconuts off. The Washington Post declares Monty Python's Spamalot is the funniest musical on Broadway. Entertainment Weekly calls it a hilarious fun fest. The Washington Post says it's unfair to laugh this much. Get your tickets now for the musical comedy event of the year, Spamalot, playing the Fabulous Fox May 5th through 17th. Tickets at fabulousfox.com.
Wake up, it's a brand new day. Getting your weekday started the St. Louis way. It's the McGraw Show.
It's Carl the Intern. I hope you have a great and safe weekend. McGraw will be back at 6 o'clock on Monday morning, where we will talk memories of Ray Hartman.
McGraw Millhaven, Rose Dalton, and Carl the Intern. Weekday morning, 6 to 10.
Right here on your hometown station, the Big 550 KTRS. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Some of my favorite stories come from friends who are teachers, especially the elementary school teachers and the stories they have. And now teachers are sharing some of the dumbest things their students have ever done.
Wait. There are no dumb questions, right?
There
I
might
said
be
dumb things.
and stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
A teacher
by
was-
the way, I think there are dumb questions.
Yeah.
I think I've asked quite a few of them.
Well, no one would tell you that to your face.
No. A teacher was going over World War II when a girl raised her hand and asked completely seriously, wait, England isn't a state in the U.S.?
Ugh.
Mm-hmm. A little more work to be done in that classroom. A student found his teacher's master's thesis and then tried to turn parts of it back into him verbatim. Yeah.
Oh, no.
A professor called out a student for turning in a paper she hadn't written. So the student emailed the professor, CC'd the dean, and said it was hers because she paid her own money to have it written.
Well, okay.
It's so interesting. A student said that having a baby boy or girl was determined by whether or not they had an innie or an outie belly button.
I can see that.
Right.
You think?
I can see that.
And a teacher was explaining how dangerous UV rays are in sunlight, and a student asked, if the sun is so dangerous, why did we build it?
Oh. You take the good with the bad, though.
Yeah, I do love, kids say the darndest things. It's such a fun thing. This is kind of scary. A bat was recently discovered in a Kirkwood home and tested positive for rabies.
Whoa.
Yeah, the St. Louis County Department of Public Health reports the bat was collected from a home April 16th. It's also the first bat to test positive for rabies in St. Louis County in the year. So the department did not report any bat bites at the home or the location of the bat. So they said following this discovery, though, public health officials are warning residents to take caution if they notice a bat in their home or an unusual spot. So just a little reminder.
Did you see this thing about Canada and citizenship?
I did,
and
but I
dual citizenship?
wasn't really understanding what was happening.
I didn't see it. Tell me.
There's a rule in Italy where they kind of want people to come back to Italy. And have you seen these things where you buy an old stone house for $1, and as long as you fix it up, it's in the weirdest, most rural spots of Italy, so it's not like people could go there and still work. But if you fix it up, you could keep the house for $1, But Italy says that if your maternal grandmother was from Italy, you can file for Italian citizenship and get a passport. Canada's rule, until today, was that if you had a parent, one generation, who was Canadian, you could file for dual citizenship. Oh. Even if you were born in America and you've lived here your entire or somewhere else your entire life. Overnight, And I guess, in Canada, they've probably been telling people this. But overnight, we just found out about it. Citizenship by descent could only be passed down by one generation. Now it is if you have a Canadian grandparent, great-grandparent, or an even more distant Canadian ancestor, you could file for Canadian citizenship, and technically you are now also Canadian.
I wonder how far back that goes. Any idea?
It says more distant ancestor. It doesn't really say.
Because my wife's family, they're Boyers, and they were originally French Canadian in Montreal.
Wow.
And then they came and settled here, in French Louisiana Purchase.
So she
all
now
that
has
stuff.
dual citizenship.
I guess she could apply for it.
So it says if you really want to go back that far, you're going to have to hire genealogists and lawyers to track down your roots.
My mother-in-law is a genealogist and traced it back.
But if you could go back to your grandparents and just point and say, he loves maple syrup. He's from Canada.
That's offensive.
I know.
Sure is.
To all the Canadians listening right now.
But they're so nice, they won't mind.
The application fee is $75, and that's it. And then I guess you work towards getting a dual citizenship passport or whatever. Or I don't know. Are there benefits to being a dual citizenship Canadian? We have an open border at this point.
I was going to say.
Open-ish. Open-ish. I don't think it was open during COVID, but it's open-ish again.
You better have your passport with you.
But maybe you're sitting here right now and you didn't even realize it. You woke up Canadian.
That's true.
Dual Canadian. American Canadian.
Yeah.
Canadian American. I don't know.
It is 5:30. Let's get another check of traffic with Captain Paul. More people on the roads now that people are clocking out.
Well, Heidi, we are accident-free, and the roads are actually looking pretty good. 270 South is crowded from Page down to 64. 64 East bogs down at 170, but opens up at Big Bend. And there's a stalled vehicle on 44 East at Bowles in the right lane, and another one on 55 North at Carondelet. This traffic report is brought to you by the Quarry at Crystal Springs Golf Course. The Quarry at Crystal Springs delivers a convenient and affordable golf course that is a true test of any player's game. 4 sets of tees will allow players of all abilities to choose the course length that will best suit their enjoyment. Visit them today. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
I think I mentioned this the other day, but I was heading to Target because we now have a city Target, which is fantastic. And the route I go right past the brand new Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital that is going up, and it is amazing. When you talk about the latest and greatest in all of the gadgets and gear and technology, St. Louis Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital is going to have it.
I think I was driving downtown to go to one of the remotes at Wind Down Wednesday, and I saw a big construction project going on in Midtown, and I was like, what's that? That's the new Cardinal Glennon, right?
It's right there at Grand and Shoto, and it is, it's going to be fantastic. Now,
That's
of
where
course,
I was born, by the way.
Was it?
Really?
Yeah.
Look at that.
My sister had heart problems in the second grade.
And she went to Cardinal Glennon?
Took care of her.
And then my godchild, who is now, she's 6 years old, which is crazy. She was there during COVID. She was born, and they knew going in that she had some kind of gastro issues, and were ready to do surgery right when they,
how about that?
Had her, which was crazy.
Belly Brigade.
Yeah, Belly Brigade. Sophie's Belly Brigade is what we're called when we do the big walk each year. But Cardinal Glennon, like you just said, they've touched each of us, and everybody you talk to has had a fantastic experience, because from the top down, the bottom up, everybody just treats you like family. The doctors are fantastic. The surgeons are incredible. The nurses they really do double duty, because they're also there to kind of comfort the family as well, because when you're at the hospital, you're nervous, you're not in a good mood, you're scared because you don't know what's going on. So they really try to cover all the bases and then send families home healthier. So Cardinal Glennon never turns a child away, and they knew that was going to be part of their mission in the very beginning, and they started the Cardinal Glennon Children's Foundation, which truly makes an impact not only on the hospital's programs and services, like I mentioned, but on those families who entrust the care of their children to Cardinal Glennon. So if you want to learn more, if you want to make a donation, glennon.org is the website.
And now, KTRS weather.
Well, the morning rain has pretty much moved out of the area, and now we're just looking at clouds and a couple of spot showers, mainly south of St. Louis this evening, so mainly dry, and that should hold for the ball game as well. Temperatures will be in the low to mid 70s today. Tomorrow will be in the upper 70s. Lots of sunshine, a dry day, a beautiful Saturday. Sunday, we cloud up a little bit, maybe a 20% chance of an afternoon or evening shower, but it does look like a chance for some strong thunderstorms by Monday. Have a great weekend. In the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kent Earhart for the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, Anne-Marie here, host of the Inside Out Show and owner of Anne-Marie Design Studio for Black Fox Cooper, St. Louis's premier Anderson certified contractor. That means every window they install meets Anderson's exacting quality standards, and the installation is guaranteed for 2 years in addition to the 20-year warranty on the glass. In many cases, Mark and his team at Black Fox Cooper can upgrade your existing Anderson windows with installation materials possessing the latest technology in energy efficiency and at a cost far less than replacing all of your windows.
Call 314-270-1484 or online at blackboxcooper.com.
Hey, JJ Weatherhole here. From the stands, people see the highlights. Home runs, stolen bases, diving catches. What they don't see is the preparation to be ready for the unexpected. That's how I look at my car too. Repairs can hit out of nowhere, and they're not cheap. With CarShield, you get the best defense against costly repairs. When something goes wrong, you're not scrambling. You've got a plan, a CarShield plan.
Don't get caught looking. Get a free quote today at carshield.com. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
Repairing chimneys, walkways, porches, foundations, entire homes, anything to do with brick or stone, you need a tuck pointer you can trust, and that, of course, is Morelli. Morelli's a family-run business started in 1991, and they're only as good as their last customer. That's why when you check out the reviews online at MorelliTuckPointing.com, you'll notice that they're actual customers who are singing the praises of Morelli. So if you need a tuck pointer, you need Morelli. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Stay connected with the Big 550 KTRS, streaming 24/7 online at KTRS.com or on the KTRS app. Powered by JBL Financial. Stream Straight Talk on Retirement every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
I'm listening to one of these morning shows. I was with my wife getting coffee this morning, and one of these, chuckle shows in the morning.
Chuckle shows.
Yeah, they're always laughing and then they go and play a Katy Perry song, and then they come back and they
the morning stew,
yeah,
or brew,
the
or whatever.
Circus, the zoo.
Yeah.
But they were talking about the bride who asked the uncle and all the attendees to wear ties, neckties, and they got into it. And I actually asked my wife. I said, my position on the show was just put a tie on. Bob acted like it was insane
not to wear a tie,
to even question it. And my wife took the tact of, hey, look, don't be a bridezilla.
I agree.
People are going to wear whatever they want to wear. There's bigger fish to fry, carp being one of them. And don't
see what you did there.
Yeah.
Call back.
You can't control everything. Just let it go. And then she pointed out a bunch of problems that we had at our wedding, and we just kind of rolled with it. So I've actually changed my tune. Oh. But here's a story that has actually got my blood boiling, and I don't know how you could take any other side than this. A CEO of a company posted a note to all employees. And this is what the note said. We have a long-term employee of 17 years from our dietary department who has been in the hospital and rehab for several months. I think they work at a hospital. She has exhausted all her PTO days and her benefits are running out. As you can imagine, this has been quite a drain on the family's income. If there is anyone who would like to donate one or more days of their own PTO.
I've heard this before.
So she can stay on PTO, please let the Vice President of Financial Services know in writing of your intent. Thank you for your consideration. At first blush, I was like, oh, that's great. You could
Compassion.
really help out your fellow employee. But then somebody posted, I can't imagine they actually replied to the email and saying this, but somebody posted and said, as the CEO, don't you have the power to just give them
exactly
more PTO
I agree.
rather than try to collect it all from the rest of us?
But don't you think that that's part of what the employees are trying to do? Is kind of say, look, we're willing to do this. Surely he is going to, or she is going to make no. But I've heard this happen more than once.
Interesting.
To me donate the PTO when in fact the CEO and the heads of the company should just have a little more compassion.
Okay, but I
donate their own
think there's
PTO.
Probably
Is this guy going to donate some of his PTO?
maybe, but I think that you probably open up a can of worms that you don't even think about. We sit here and we talk about these things that we know nothing about most of the time.
Very true.
And if you were to talk to somebody probably in business and at least a corporation, if we're talking about CEOs and presidents, if you do that for one employee and then another employee gets sick,
You got to do it for all of them.
Yeah, and I mean, I just think that there are rules in place for certain reasons. I hate that somebody is sick and can't go through that, but then that's why there's short-term disability, and there are other things in place for that.
Yeah. Well, this employee has been out for several months, hospital and rehab. If somebody ran out of days and said, "Well, you gave it to Crystal."
Yeah.
Why can't you give it to me? Well, I think Crystal has extenuating circumstances that you, who just decided to go on 3 vacations, don't.
But that doesn't matter when the lawsuit happens.
Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, the world is not fair.
Oh, no.
So that's why we have to have rules in place for that. Now, in the same, sense, we are a mom and pop shop. We are local, the big 550 KTRS. And when my appendix burst last year, I went over more days than I had just because the people here are extremely understanding and said, yes, take as much time as you can.
Wait a minute. You did?
Mm-hmm.
They gave that to you?
Right.
You might want to send out
Mark
a
it
memo,
down.
a strongly worded
I feel
memo.
my side's starting to hurt.
And I would say you're exactly the reason why there are rules in place.
And you know what? You make a great point. We are so lucky, the atmosphere we have here. And that philosophy of making there are never any issues, internal issues.
No.
We're really fortunate to be here.
We are. But there's always one bad egg, and that ruins it for
Quit
everybody.
looking at Josh. He's going to
I know.
Stop looking. He's going to know that you're talking about him.
Yep. Somebody on the text line, my husband was dying of cancer when he worked at MoDOT, and people donated their days out of love for him, and it was so appreciated. If they change the rules for one person, they're going to have to change it for the next person, and circumstances will always be different.
Yeah.
Sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Are you ready for tax season? A new administration in Washington guarantees there are changes to the tax law coming. Don't let changes to the tax code catch you off guard. Hi, I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group and the author of the #1 best-selling book on taxes, Keep What's Yours, and the soon-to-be-released book, Keeping What's Yours, the Strategic Tax Planning Guide for the One Big Beautiful Bill. For 50 years, our team has helped hundreds of area businesses get their financial plans in order, reduce their tax liability, and stop overpaying their federal and state income taxes. If you're not taking full advantage of the tax law and you feel like you might be paying more than your fair share in taxes, then let us help you plan for 2026 and take advantage of the new tax laws. To learn more, give us a call at 636-394-5524 or online at capitaladvisorygrp.com.
Spring is finally here, and it's time to get out and enjoy the weather. Wherever you enjoy springtime, be sure to take the Big 550 with you on our mobile app. Listen live and be entertained and informed. Download the app today and don't miss a minute of the Big 550. KTRS. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550. KTRS.
Well, let's talk a little entertainment news. Page 6 is reporting that Harry Styles and Zoe Kravitz are engaged. Now, there's no official word. She's just been seen with an engagement ring. They've been,
I didn't even know they were together.
Okay.
Have I been under a rock?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Smoking.
Sometimes I see Zoe Kravitz, and I think it's her mom.
She
because her
looks
mom
exactly like her,
Lisa
Bonet.
Looks exactly like her. And she's got to be 30-something years old.
Good genetics.
Yeah, very. Smokey Robinson's defamation claims against his sexual assault accusers have been dismissed by a judge. So that makes me feel a little better. This will probably come as no surprise. Taylor Swift is Spotify's most streamed artist of all time. Now, these two things are a little bit more surprising. The Weeknd's Blinding Lights is the most streamed song, and Bad Bunny's Un Verano Sin Ti is the most streamed album.
Okay.
How about that?
That Weeknd song was everywhere.
Oh, my God. It would not stop.
It was. I was watching the draft one year, and it was on the draft. It was the theme to the draft.
Lainey Wilson is revealing what Beyonce said to her after she lost Best Country Album Grammy to Cowboy Carter. She said, I walked over to Beyonce, and she was so kind. We had a lot of great things to say to each other. You could tell that we both had a respect for each other. It was like, I see you, you see me kind of thing. It means a lot that you walked over here and did that. So
I like it.
I think that is so cool. That
really cool.
Yes, I agree. And I want to watch Lainey Wilson's documentary.
Well, and here's the thing, because you could tell people in the music industry were trying to drive a wedge in and make Beyonce be the enemy.
Absolutely, and it didn't work in that situation.
Yep.
New in theaters this weekend, you got Michael, the biopic about Michael Jackson's life and career.
Pass.
Jerane's son, Jafar Jackson, stars as Michael. Mother Mary, which has Anne Hathaway playing a former pop star determined to return to singing after stepping away from the music scene to deal with a personal crisis. I don't know that I'm going to see either of those. And then on TV, you've got the second and third rounds of the NFL draft. That's on ABC and ESPN. You got the NBA playoffs on Amazon. Apex, which I've seen a couple of the trailers. It's the action thriller starring Charlize Theron as a survivalist testing her limits in the remote Australian wilderness who finds herself being hunted by a ruthless serial killer.
She was on the Today Show today or yesterday talking about it and all the stunts and things they were doing. It looked amazing.
It did. That is now streaming on Netflix. You've also got the streaming premiere of Marty Supreme on HBO Max.
Ooh, I want to see that.
And then on Hulu, the stand-up special, Hometown Girl, Nikki Glaser, Good Girl.
All right, so a couple months ago, before the Oscars, I was telling my wife, I said, hey, I want to watch this Marty Supreme movie, Timmy Chalamet. She likes him a lot. Exactly. He's up for an Oscar for this. He
I
might
thought it was
win.
good, but I did not think it was great.
She goes, what's it about? And I go, I wish you wouldn't have asked me.
It's about this guy overcoming all these obstacles.
But
and doing what?
Yeah. Right. Ping pong. So I asked her, I had been trying to get her to watch F1 for months.
And she liked it when she saw it.
She loved it.
Yeah.
But she did, I don't want to watch a car movie.
I agree with her.
So we were talking about movies, and I started F1, and about 15 minutes in, she goes, I thought we were watching the ping pong movie. No, I switched it. You just realized that?
When are they going to start playing ping pong?
Yeah, I didn't know Brad Pitt was in this. Did you see the thing about Diana Ross in the Michael Jackson movie?
You mean that she's not in it?
Kat Graham is an actress. She played Diana Ross in the new movie. But all her scenes were cut. They said certain legal considerations affected a few scenes, including the ones I filmed in with the incredible cast. Those moments are no longer part of the final cut.
Well, if somebody's playing a real person, and A, you didn't give them permission, and B, it's not what they said or exactly what they did, you might have problems.
They said they were also going to deal with some of the lawsuits.
And they weren't allowed to.
And they say they weren't allowed to because of the settlements, especially for one of the victims. The settlements barred any depiction or mention of him in a movie about Michael Jackson, which I totally understand. But we heard reports a couple months ago, even a couple weeks ago, that the family demanded recut of these scenes to cut out.
What family?
The Jackson family.
Oh, I didn't
to
hear
cut
that.
out the abuse from the final, and it cost about $15 million to go back and redo the movie.
I didn't know that part.
I did not read any of that. Where did you see
The family
that?
wanted to take that stuff out. I don't know, it was on TMZ or something. But if you wanted to see Diana Ross in the movie, which, I mean, she played a huge role in his life.
I wonder if they, no one got a hold of me about the time she sat on my lap. I wonder if they had to cut that out.
No, that's
Yeah, I
surprisingly
bet.
in. Bob, you got in.
Let's do a couple birthdays.
Okay, St. Louis's own Cedric, the entertainer.
Oh, Cedric.
Very funny man, very nice man.
I bet he's 66.
62.
Bang, got it, Josh.
Oh.
Woo. And two favorites, two grand dames of entertainment. Funny Girl, Meet the Fockers. My favorite film of hers, not for everybody because it's slapstick comedy. What's Up, Doc, with Ryan O'Neal, directed by Peter Bogdanovich.
Barbara
How
Streisand.
old is Babs?
Barbara Streisand.
83.
Whoa, 79.
84. Heidi gets it.
Whoa.
And finally,
And she did a great job at the Oscars, right?
yeah, it was good.
Singing, doing the in
Considering
the
everything,
Yeah.
it was fine.
Okay.
I thought the appearance was
Yes.
memorable.
I mean, she surprised everybody, so that was the key.
Oscar winner for terms of endearment. One of my favorites, an old movie, 1958. Some Came Running. Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Shirley MacLaine.
Shirley MacLaine.
So remember, that was in 1958.
I was going to say she's 94.
Does she have famous kids?
Shirley MacLaine?
She has
No,
a
she has a
famous
famous brother, Warren Beatty.
Oh, of course. Oh, and they're siblings.
Brother and sister, same thing.
Shirley MacLaine.
Oh boy, yeah. It's time to get out of
Give
here.
me a number.
89.
This one goes by the wayside. Shirley MacLaine's 92.
I said 94.
Yeah.
That was pretty close.
Yeah, but you got to be within one.
And
You know
not
the
close
rules.
enough,
You know
Heidi.
the rules.
This
Not
is true. That
close
is your
enough.
evening entertainment report here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Meep, meep.
10 minutes before 6, we got to get one final check of traffic with Captain Paul.
Heidi, there's a crash on 70 West at Jennings Station, blocking the two right lanes with traffic jam back to Bircher. And 64 East bogs down at 170, but opens up at Big Bend. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, I said Shirley MacLaine was 89 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I guessed, I should say. I was thinking of her brother.
Oh, you are not.
She's got a brother.
You didn't
He's-
even know she had a brother.
He passed away.
Are they siblings?
At 89, they are siblings.
Hold on.
No.
Warren Beatty's
Warren
not
Beatty's
dead.
alive.
Oh, he's not?
No.
Oh, that was Robert Redford.
Oh, you know what?
You know, they were in movies together.
What?
Are they related?
No.
Do you need to go home?
I think so. What time is it?
It's time.
It's the
past
weekend.
time. You are
I'm-
not making any sense.
I'm sundowning right now.
Oh my gosh, that's one word for it.
Well, let me get this out of the way while I can still form a sentence. Ryan Raphael, he is the Medicare man. He is a friend of the show. He's a friend of the station. And he could be a friend of you because he could tell you how to navigate Medicare and charge you nothing at the end of the day. You've got the A, B, C, D. What's the drug one? What's the B? What does this do? What's the best one for my particular situation? And if you need to change it year after year, what should you do? Ryan can walk you through the whole thing, and he's subsidized by the insurance companies, who are then subsidized by the federal government. But Medicare is a plan that when most people finally get on it and pick the right plan, they seem to love it. Bob, you love it, right?
I love it.
I can't wait to get on Medicare because that probably means that I'm retired and I don't have to do this anymore. But if you are headed towards Medicare, that's when you need to call Ryan. Give him a call, 314-368-6808, 314-368-6808, or visit him at MedicareManSTL.com. Ryan Raphael, the Medicare Man.
At Midland, we know sometimes all it takes is a moment for an idea to spark, or to make it happen, a moment to find your dream, or build one, a moment to start your forever, or at least start planning for it. Whatever moments you have, Midland is here for them and can help you make them. Midland, brighter together. Visit us at midlandsb.com. Midland States Bank is member FDIC.
Look at our alums, the contributions that they have made throughout industries in the St. Louis region.
Terry Freerks, a graduate of the University of Missouri, St. Louis.
UMSL is embedded in the fabric of the St. Louis community. We're hands-on, and when our students graduate, they are definitely career ready, but maybe more importantly, they're career confident.
More is what moves us. Find your more at more.umsl.edu.
Attention KTRS listeners, Appliance Discounters has a deal for you. Shop now and receive an instant 5% rebate off your next appliance purchase. 5% instant savings off their already low prices. And you can receive other factory rebates, some up to $1,500 direct from the manufacturer. Huge savings, locally owned, next day delivery, 18 months interest-free financing. Appliance Discounters with 6 area locations or online at theappliancediscounters.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, let's wrap this show up with a couple randoms.
I'm wondering, was Warren Beatty even in a movie with Robert Redford?
Would you please just drop it?
Is it a movie with Dustin Hoffman, who's also still alive?
Yes. Eating a high amount of garlic, 12 grams or more, can make a man's body odor smell better.
I've heard that before.
More attractive and less intense and not garlicky at all.
Now, your breath is another thing.
Yes. And
But Jen loves garlic.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Does she find it sexy, though?
Note to Bob, stop by the grocery store.
I've always heard the fish oil pills and the garlic. Yeah, it's good for you.
Yeah. But
watch the breath. The average American will supposedly eat 35,000 cookies in their lifetime.
I think I'm probably ahead of that pace.
I'm below it.
1,000.
When the kids were all little, that was maybe not once a week, but at least a couple times a month we'd make cookies at home. It was really a fun deal.
Horses can't throw up. Apparently, their bodies aren't built to do it. Just not a thing. Heidi, this one's for you. Minnesota has a law banning contests where people try to catch greased pigs.
Really?
Why is that
it's
for
a shame.
Heidi?
I've never participated, but I have watched more than one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I just assumed.
I've talked about it before because I've talked about the grease pole. So you didn't assume.
I knew. And there's a McBoat, McDonald's location in Germany, which has a float-through instead of a drive-through.
Well, we used to have that.
I was going to say, we used to have the floating McDonald's.
Could you paddle up to the dock and place your order?
I guess
and it's brought to you?
If you had a canoe, I guess.
Tip a canoe. And that's all.
Okay. Well, that does it for us. Thanks for hanging out with us on this Friday. Thanks for hanging out with us all week. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And hopefully you'll meet us back here at 3 o'clock on Monday. Until then, see if it can put a smile on somebody's face.
I want to thank you, show my gratitude.
Hallmark Stone is a wholesale fabricator of quartz and granite countertops. They normally only sell to kitchen and bath shops, home stores, remodelers, and builders. But once a year, they open their doors to the general public to benefit Annie's Hope and Carney's Kids charities. This Saturday and Sunday is that weekend. It's the 23rd annual Remnant Sale, where you can buy quartz and granite remnants at up to 50% off retail pricing. Remnants are great for vanity tops, islands, fireplace surrounds, bar tops, and more. David Sherwood and Anne-Marie Boges will be broadcasting live on Saturday from 11 to 1. So come by and say hello. Hallmark Stone, located of I-44 at the Soccer Park exit. For directions, call 636-349-1288. Or better yet, check out their website at hallmarkstone.com. Enjoy extreme savings while benefiting local charities. What a great combination. Stop by Hallmark Stone's 23rd annual Remnant Sale this Saturday and Sunday. For more information, visit hallmarkstone.com.
Breaking news for your home. Way Day is here. It's Wayfair's big sale, where you can score the best deals in home, like up to 80% off with free shipping on everything. Plus surprise flash deals all Way Day long. You won't find better deals for your home anywhere else. We're talking furniture, decor, rugs, and more, all at Wayfair, and all up to 80% off during Way Day. So don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Way Day now through April 27th to score the best deals in home.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
This is the Big 550, KTRS St. Louis, the station you have depended on for 3 decades. We are the Talk of St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. New tornado watches issued this evening for parts of southeast Oklahoma, northeast Texas, and southwest Arkansas. This after a monster EF4 slamming Enid, Oklahoma overnight. Dozens of homes destroyed. The silver linings is resident Justin Hunt.
Everybody's unharmed. Things can be replaced, but we've got a mess to clean up.
New details in the case of 2 Florida grad students missing for more than a week. Authorities finding one student, 27-year-old Zamil Limon, and arresting a suspect after a standoff at his home. Hillsborough Sheriff Deputy Joseph Maurer.
SWAT then mobilized and commanded the suspect to come out of the residence. At that time, he came out peacefully and was taken into custody.
The other student, Nahida Bristi, still missing. U.S. and Iranian delegations set to hold a new round of talks in Pakistan this weekend. The White House says the U.S. side will include Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner. Vice President J.D. Vance on standby. ABC's Karen Travers.
We've heard a lot from the president in recent days that Iran's government is fractured and that they don't know who their leadership is. But Caroline said that they feel that Iran wants to talk right now, and that is why they're going to have this conversation this weekend. She underlined they hope something positive can come from it.
The Justice Department is dropping its case against Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. Powell's term is slated to end next month, and President Trump has nominated Kevin Warsh to take over, but Warsh's nomination has been held up by a bipartisan group of lawmakers who are upset with the DOJ probe. A federal judge today denying a request to delay President Trump's $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS amid possible settlement talks. Judge Kathleen Williams raised concerns about the legality of Trump suing his own government, ordering both sides to justify why the case should proceed. You're listening to ABC News.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Bakery owners, you will be loved today. Every pastry will be flaky. Your cake will make a child's day. Your delivery van won't get sideswiped by a distracted garbage truck driver. But if so, breathe easy, knowing you'll get back to business quickly with Progressive protecting your commercial auto. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details. Breaking news for your home. Way Day is here. It's Wayfair's big sale, where you can score the best deals in home, like up to 80% off with free shipping on everything. Plus surprise flash deals all Way Day long. You won't find better deals for your home anywhere else. We're talking furniture, decor, rugs, and more, all at Wayfair, and all up to 80% off during Way Day. So don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Way Day now through April 27th to score the best deals in home.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
St. Louis Soccer Weekly on the Big 550 KTRS. Your home for St. Louis soccer. With hosts Mark Moser and Brendan Weesey. Presented by Royal Banks of Missouri, Car Shield, and the Car Shield Football Club.
Folks, good evening. It's St. Louis Soccer Weekly on the Big 550 KTRS. Brendan Weesey, St. Louis Soccer Hall of Famer Mark Moser. It's great to be along with each and every one of you. Busy show on the way. We're going to talk some ambush soccer with the head coach, Jeff Locker, the MASL Coach of the Year. He won that award this week. Tom Timmerman and Neil Sika, who will be on the call of the Apple TV broadcast, talking some City SC. And then Rachel Bursick, the head coach of Koryezu Academy, undefeated, the best player maybe we've ever seen in St. Louis, and Maddie DiMaria. They're playing Zumwalt South in the Champions League final tomorrow night at Maryville University. Coach Bursick will be with us coming up here in a few minutes. Most jam-packed show here tonight and a lot to cover.
Yeah, a lot to cover. I mean, with the ambush going out, getting knocked out by San Diego, and then Jeff Locker being named Coach of the Year, that's a great feather in his cap.
No doubt.
With what they've done over the past season and a half of really putting things together. So it'll be fun to talk to him, get his perspective on what it took to get to where they're at, and how they can move forward and continue to be one of the top teams in the MASL. And then what's going on at Koryezu with that team. I mean, they just... Yes, they have Maddie DiMaria, who is exceptional and a one-of-a-kind player, but they just keep winning games. And, I mean, one player a team does not make, so she's doing something right down there with that club in City. Finally back home. It's been a long...
for an MLS match, anyway.
For an
it's
MLS
been a long
match,
time.
Yeah, so, but unfortunately, they get probably the hottest team in the league right now, San Jose, who is sitting on top of the Western Conference and playing a whole bunch of 20-something Americans.
Yep. Fronted by a guy in Bruce Arena that knows how to get it done in the league. And I find it fascinating, two clubs that are doing it in completely different ways with a rebuild. San Jose gets a known commodity in Bruce Arena, and the rebuild has obviously happened very quickly for them. They were the worst team in the league 2 years ago, and here they are, the best team in the West as we speak. St. Louis going a different route with a first-time sporting director, a first-time head coach, and this rebuild, and a lot of it predicated on the fact that they all got a late start in terms of how late they got hired in the process. So it's, two rebuilds that I think are happening in completely different fashions.
Yeah, this two different ways they went about it.